What's up, guys? Hey, how are ya? Man, it is day number 2 in the NNR week live from Daytona International Speedway. After last night's amazing win by the one and only Pop Bear, I am absolutely looking forward to seeing what tonight's race is going to bring. As always, on these fabulous Wednesday nights, the one and only I'm Rick James, 36. Yes, he is in the seat next to me. Rick, last night's win was like .033. I mean, just a bumper. I'm looking forward to something hopefully like that. How are you, sir? You recovered from last night, and what are you looking forward to with these Xfinity guys here in NNR?
Pete, I've got the best hangover a racing fan could ask for, and I'm jonesing for absolute chaos tonight, but in the best way. Speed chaos, chaotic speed, chaotic slingshots. Easily just some of the fastest racing I've ever seen at Daytona last night. These trucks had the normal draft package, but with setups for the first time in NNR, and now the NNR Xfinity series will do the same with the high draft package tonight, Pete. So the draft will be more active than last night, and that high line is going to be the place where everyone's going to make that move. I'm so ready for this.
Yeah, but we were just talking about a little bit before we kick this off. Guys and gals out there in chat, you're going to see something a little bit different tonight. Usually you see that line on the bottom that you just can't do anything with, right? You can't get the high line going in order to make any passes. Well, just tell you what, J-Pa in his series wisdom has gone out and said nobody will be pushing the leader on the bottom line. That's right. So if you're going to push a leader, it has to be up top. Now, if you go back into my videos, into my highlights or clips, I'm not quite sure where it is, you'll see a video that came about a year or so ago. Talladega last season. It was HD Motorsports and I in the booth, and you had the bottom line, you had the top line. It's all right after a restart. All right, Rowdy was sitting in P2 on the bottom line. I think it was the 6 and then the 2 car of Stout Whiskey up top. I could be wrong just a little bit. And the reason that the high line stayed very, very active, very what's the word I'm looking for? The reason that the high line stayed valid was because the bottom line did not push the leader on the bottom. So we had great side-by-side battles, lap after lap after lap. I mean, we're talking like 10 laps before the end of the stage or a caution came out or something like that. Or actually, no, I take that back, Rick. I think the line on the bottom finally grew in strength because the guys up top were able to push past the guys on the bottom after just a little bit of separation. It was a phenomenal race, and if that's the way tonight's going to be, we are in for one hell of a treat here, buddy.
They're just finishing up their qualifying now, and the drivers are going to be on that wheel. Special rules tonight as well regarding this bump drafting. The low line is good to make a pass and hold a line, but the leader cannot be pushed onto the inside. The only time the leader can be pushed with this high draft will be on the outside line. There must be the width of one car to the low line so the car in front can get that push, if that makes sense. So it's going to make the outside line more important than we've ever seen at Daytona.
Yeah, and you heard me in pre-race. I had a couple of hesitations about this, where the high line was the only place that you could push. Like you mentioned, we're on setups. This is the first time the NNR Xfinity Series has ever run setups, just like the trucks last night. So you're going to have a bunch of guys who are really going to have to pay attention and hold their line up top. If they come down and take out a guy below them, let's say they're trying to pinch him or something like that, and they wreck, it's a black flag. If they hit the wall and they collect the rest of the field, that's a black flag. So, man, these guys are going to have to be on their toes. As old DW said, their elbows up, ready to go. And man, if these guys race like that for 100 and what is it, 120 laps, I think, something like that, they are gonna be flat worn out by the end of tonight's race.
Well, that's the object, isn't it, Pete? You need to give your all, especially in no-name racing. Xfinity or not, this is not a league for slouches. This is not a league for those that cannot keep concentration. This is some of the very best you'll see in NASCAR Heat 5, Pete. So it's serious stuff for a lot of these drivers. So yes, they need to be on top of the wheel, elbows up, as you say, and really giving it their all.
Yeah, and they're all maybe exactly what it takes in order to have a phenomenal race. I don't know how many cars are going to come through with their fenders still attached by the end of it, but man, we've claimed that NNR is the best in default, hands down. In fact, there was a tweet that went out. I'm sorry, not a tweet, a message on Facebook that went out not too long ago where some guys were talking about creating a second pro league for the guys that didn't make it. And a lot of the guys that made the pro league and a lot of the guys in eSpark said, "Hey, what's wrong? Is there something? Is there something wrong with the one that we have? Does it?" Did you not get in? So are you trying just to get something else going, or what? And I kind of messaged back out there on the page. I said, well, okay, what about a preset pro league? And Brian Tedeschi, driver of the 22 Pennzoil Ford in Pro League Season 1 and 2, and said, Pete, no need. NNR equals preset Pro League. So for someone like Tedeschi or Gohar and those guys that actually run in the Pro League are drivers for actual teams to say that about NNR, it means that NNR's been recognized as the best in presets, hands down. These guys are going to absolutely have to prove it once again tonight.
I'm ready for these drivers to prove that the outside line isn't useless at this racetrack, Pete.
Right?
It's a lot of times we've seen that the outside line just doesn't move for lack of a draft. If there's three cars on the inside, it's possible for four cars to make the pass on the outside, but it takes forever. You need at least 5, 6 cars on the top line to have a chance of successfully running around that inside line without any trouble or without any drivers getting left behind. So finally, Pete, the outside line at Daytona has good, valuable purpose, even more so than the inside. The racing just got twice as dynamic as we've ever seen in NNR, let alone any racing league.
Now, just to clear one thing up real quick, because I just got a text asking. All right, yes, if they run up on the leader on the bottom side, they can come on up and give him a tap. But just like the actual Xfinity rules in NASCAR, they can't lock bumpers and push. That's kind of what we're getting at. So you're not going to see the driver in second in line on the bottom side hooked up to the leader and shove him all the way around the track. That's really where this is at. So it's kind of like the actual legit NASCAR Xfinity Series rules put in place here for NNR. And hey, why not do it with setups and with the highest draft option available on Heat 5. So yeah, it's gonna be that much better. Like you said, qualifying is done. We will be able to follow along with the one and only Combat Beast for lap counts and fuel and all that. About 20 cars out here on track. Got a couple of new guys. Got one guy that's making his way back into NNR after a little bit of a hiatus. That's going to be the one and only driver of the 99, Zachary Jason. There's another one as well, Need for Speed Demon 24. He's making his NNR debut. So, couple new guys, whole bunch of veterans. Some guys that moved up from the Truck Series last year. Some others that decided they were just going to stay put after last season. So, got a little bit of a melting pot all the way around this 2.5 mile super speedway. Guessing something. I don't know. Something happened with their clock. They're still making laps, even though the timer is done. It shouldn't be much longer before they get back into the lobby. Last second minute or instructions by the one and only J-Pie, your series admin, and then we're gonna set these guys green.
Pete, I think the game's just scared of the thunder that NNR is going to bring in this next coming hour and a half. Um, it's unprecedented in not just racing, but gaming in general, Pete. NNR's breaking new ground with allowing setups here at Daytona, and I believe double points are also on offer tonight. So it's a fun Wednesday night for a lot of firsts. I think this is the first time that NNR is going to competitively run the high draft package. I might be mistaken on that one as well. But a lot of fun, a lot of uncharted waters. This first stage is going to tell a lot.
Yeah, it will. And you know those double points that you're talking about, double points for the finishing order or for stage breaks or stage wins rather. That's double points for penalties. Yeah, that was the other big bomb that J-Pod dropped. He didn't hand out any penalty points last week for Bristol Motor Speedway. You know, he said, short track is short track. The old meme, with Denny's, mocking Joey Logano, I got short track racing, kind of thing. Yeah, so that's where we're at. So if you're gonna not give out penalties at Bristol, you're gonna hope to have one hell of a race here at Daytona. And it looks like the server finally allowed the guys to make their way back into the lobby, or I think they might have had to kill it. Not 100% sure. So I'm guessing J-Pot went through with Q-Dog and got a picture of where everybody was going to be. So during that pace lap that they normally take, they'll go ahead and get back into position, and yeah, drop that hammer once we're ready to go. Yeah, Tone Boss, I agree with you. Gotta love the servers, but it's kind of early. Kind of surprised to see any kind of a server issue right now. I mean, we're just about Combat Beast is just about an hour into his stream. We're 15 minutes into ours, so it's one issue after another, but hopefully it goes back to the way that it should be.
Pete, it just occurred to me the what is known as the bump. For those that don't know, right around 10 p.m. Eastern time, for the last few weeks and almost months, the entire community has felt almost a big lag spike right around 10 p.m. Now, I'm not necessarily sure how true that is, Pete, but I've seen it firsthand, a couple of lag spikes right around 10 p.m. With these high draft, with the high speed from the setups, a lag spike right around then with these cars drafting at speed could be dangerous to the entire field.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Daytona and Talladega, you've got the close quarters racing, close quarter combat, I guess you could say, of almost 20 drivers tonight, and even in public lobbies, you get those big fields, and the game kind of tweaks out a little bit, just like these guys have been tweaking on their setups all week long in order to make sure that they got a fast piece to compete. It'll be interesting to see if we see that server bump. If we already had it and they have to reset due to that, well then I don't care. I'd rather see some great racing for the next hour and a half and have to than have to deal with that when they hit that 10 o'clock hour.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Everybody here wants to see a race. Everyone has come here for the action, and that's precisely what we're going to get, one way or the other, Pete. So I'm anxious. I'm sure some of the fans are anxious, and I'm just really ready to hit new ground here.
It's going to be new ground for all these guys that are out here. Even Knight's out there in chat. He's an NNR veteran. He's been around many leagues, and even he's out here, in chat saying, "I'm going to learn tonight for tomorrow night when we see these Cup guys take the Daytona." And almost always, the Cup field is quite a bit bigger than the trucks and just a bit bigger than the Xfinity guys. So it's gonna be a learning curve for a lot of guys. I'm sure and seeing what the server has done to them already, that kind of adds just a little bit of anxiousness to them. I'm sure they may be gripping that wheel just a little bit tighter, but man, it's it's gonna be phenomenal racing once we get out there on track. It looks like everybody is back in the lobby. Not sure if they had the reset or not, but we'll find out soon enough. In fact, no, I think I can tell you they didn't, because right now the running order from what you'd see on the track is showing Q Dog in first, J Pod in second, and well, yep, J Pod didn't qualify. So um, like I said, I'm sure somebody took a picture of their qualifying order, and they'll re-rack them where they need to be once we actually get into the lobby.
Pete, I'm taking a look at these race details at the moment. I'm seeing that tonight's race length is going to be 100 laps in length, and for now it looks like we're scheduled to have 0 cautions. I don't know if that's going to change, but I'm assuming just like last night, we're going to have game cautions and possible manual cautions depending on what race control decides. Um, Last night's race, I think it went a little long due to the cautions late in the third stage, but tonight the speeds are going to be out of control. So with 100 laps, expect drivers to be turning 44, 45-second laps even. Really low 44, high 45s. Expect race length to be right around 60 minutes.
Yeah, and I would imagine that the stages are probably going to be right about 30, 30, and then 40, give or take. Not 100% sure, but it will be. Once we get out there and we find out what they're going to have as far as fuel, what they're going to have as far as lap, or stage distances, we'll be able to answer a few more questions. But right now the biggest questions, what we normally see, and I unfortunately didn't get an answer in pre-race, Rick. Normally under presets, they take that first lap, they come down pit road, they get a chance to make any kind of adjustments to that car, whether it's a little bit of wedge, maybe a little more, a little less tape. Heat 5 is pretty finicky about the cars overheating. Do whatever they may need to be able to do in that short 14 to 16 second pit stop to adjust their tire pressures slightly, and then get back out on track, finish that lap, and get going green. So because we're under presets tonight, I don't know if they're going to have that same opportunity. They may just go right when they get lined up and they get back to that I'm Rick James 36 restart zone.
Pete, I don't think I'm famous enough to have my own restart zone named after me yet, but we'll see after 2020. But thank you nonetheless. We're going to get back to the repeat 1975 Raceway here in about 10 seconds. So the moment's finally come, man. Obviously, what more can we say? We can go on and wax poetically about Daytona until we're blue in the face, but it the time for talk is over, Pete. These drivers have work to do, and so do we. They're launching right now. Big shout out to Combat Beast for being our streamer for lap count tonight. Big shout out to Knights.
Hey guys, can we get an invite, please?
Yeah, we had to restart the lobby, Pete. We got to line up.
Yeah, qualifying's messed
points.
up.
Yeah, I saw that. Thanks, guys.
Get your team in here. There's nothing good on TV anyway. This will be the most exciting thing to watch all night. Twitch.tv/repeat75. Send that link and let's get some fans in here. Pete, it's time.
It is absolutely time. Went on over to team chat for just a moment and got their invite going. So it should be. You should have it now. I'm going to switch on over to the race. I don't know what did with my invites, but now all of a sudden my invites went from going up and disappearing pretty quick to sticking around.
I got you, Pete.
Sticking around. No, I'm loading in. It's just the invite that J-Pod sent me is staying on the bottom of my screen. Babe, that's all right though. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my buddy Steve's site information here. And we're about to get ready to go. So again, they're going to take a lap to get back into place. It should be pretty good. we'll call the field. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and go field now uh, while we're going to take this pace lap. So you got the 9 of Q-Dog, got the 13 of Commando Griff. He was able to make his way in. 47 of Bill's Legend that has shown a lot of promise in the last few weeks. 44, the one and only Baritone Boss. The 1 of Cole 315. 10 car Mr. Cole. We tried showing him a little love last night by transferring everybody that was in our party over to his iRacing stream. That was pretty cool. The 78 of Unforgotten Shadow. The 18 of IRL Blitz. Blitzkrieg in that Monster 18. 98 of Master Killer. The 92 of Dizzy Boy 4. You got the 15 of King Mathers, the American Ethanol Summer Series champ. 16 of Old Budrow. 38 of Outlawed Beast. 36 of Need for Speed Demon 24. New guy joining the NNR Xfinity ranks. The 8-car Combat Beast, no introduction needed there. 5-car Little Tank, top 4 from last year's NNR Truck Series. Let's see, you got the 0 LXTX number 7, the 20 of Jay Gimbel or Bonetta or Tough to Pass, whatever you want to call him, as long as you don't call him last. 99 of Zachary Jason, he's making his way back into NNR as well after a short hiatus, as I mentioned earlier. And then, Rick, we're back up front with that 9. Everybody, as we've seen before, migrating to that bottom line to take their second pace lap, work their way into where they're supposed to be. And we're going to get going green as soon as they work their way back around start stripe.
Pete, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the latest update for NASCAR Heat 5. Right now, I've got my eye on that number 1 of Colt 315. Some of the youngest fans of the sport might not remember, but that car right there is an exact replica of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s blue number 3 Oreo paint scheme. I believe he ran that, Pete, in 2002. To this day, and maybe it's nostalgia, but it is one of the best looking race cars I've ever personally seen, and to recreate it on this gorgeous Camaro ZL1 is something else. It throws me back to NASCAR Thunder 2003. What a time, what a race car that was, and what a treat for the nostalgic in us to really, really appreciate that paint scheme. So shout out to the developers of the game, shout out to the designers. A great looking car.
Did you say 2002 or 2003?
I have no idea. I think I said both. I don't remember. I think it was 2002. I think it was 2002.
Buddy, I'm actually looking at the diecast right in front of me, no lie. And you should just be an encyclopedia for everything, man, that we see out here on these streams. It is the 02 number 3 Oreo car, just with the number 1 on it. So, buddy, your memory's still right on target, bud. Good job.
I'll give you one more, Pete. That is not the first time that an Earnhardt raced Oreo at Daytona. I believe in the 2001, what is now called the Busch Clash. Back then it was the Bud Shootout, wasn't it?
Yes,
and
it was.
Earnhardt Sr. drove that number 3 Oreo car. And I thought that was cool looking too, because we'd never seen the black 3 with a blue trim on it. It was always the black with the red trim and the light silver, and that was a pretty special treat as well. Later in that year, in 2002, Pete, they had that same Oreo car, but they painted it yellow, and I think Dale Jr. raced that at Talladega in that Nilla Wafers Monte Carlo.
That's absolutely possible. I don't have that diecast, but guess what? I do have that Dale Earnhardt Sr. Black Oreo, actually sitting side by side, right where that other one is or was. But yeah, you're spot on. And then Dale Sr. also ran a another Oreo car. It was his Daytona Speed Weeks car, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I've got that one as well. I'll have to send you some pictures later.
So what you're saying is spring 2021, we're going to open up our own museum.
That's right, there we go. Hey, Papa Bear, good to see you out there in chat, buddy, and congratulations one more time, Rick, for the first time. These guys are setting up, ready to go. It's going to be the 9 to Q-Dog and the 10 to his outside. It's going to be interesting with these draft rules. Boogity, boogity. Rick James, let's take him green, sir.
Foot down, flat out at the world center of racing, and No Name Racing is on. Green flag flies into the air. Q Dogs 2 in that number 9 Bass Pro Camouflage Chevrolet on the inside with Commando Griff behind him in that number 13 Supra, and then the number 5 of Little Tank third in line on the inside in the number 5. Down the back stretch, they're 2 by 2, 3 rows deep. Pete, I'm shaking with excitement.
Rick, just early on, I had to come on up to third place right now, the 13 of Commando Griff, to see what he was going to do about pushing the leader. He did not. He stayed about a good half a car length behind the 9, so the 9 moved up top to pick up the 10 and the 47 of Bill's Legend. Now the bottom, they're side by side. Top lane, they're side by side, 3 or 4 rows deep. The guys in the back had a little bit of an issue getting up and going, so this front pass kind of scooted away. But look at the 9, 10, 47, that train with that 47 Trump car and the 15 right behind. Those 3 or 4 cars just took the lead on that high side. What's up, Fry Dog?
1047, aka the 66 car on the outside of the top lane, running game at Daytona, now joined by that 15 car being piloted by King Mathers. Now Commando Griff joins the outside line. Pete, I noticed this on the second lap. Q-Dogs jumped up to the high side. Now we have 26 laps to go, and take a look at the outside line. A reminder to the fans at home, the drivers cannot push the leader on the inside line. So all the bump drafting must be done on the outside. What that means is that the drivers on the outside can go full throttle, as opposed to the inside line where the second place car must hang back. Instantly, this has changed the game. I've never seen this before, Pete. The outside line at Daytona will be tonight's preferred line. 25 to go in stage 1.
25 to go. Top 4 kind of separated by about a whole car length back to the 13 of Commando Griff. But Rick, what I'm noticing right now is the guys that are up high, there are a lot of the guys that I know for a fact actually have a wheel. So they're able to be up there, able to be pretty steady, able to anticipate, I guess, through a bunch of practice and just normal time that these guys would spend out here at Daytona and Talladega. But these guys, they're not typically set-up drivers. Most of these guys are preset drivers, don't really mess around a whole lot in set-up public lobbies. So the guys that are not comfortable out there are having a real issue staying there, and the guys, they're kind of ducking down to that inside line. But yeah, you look at this, top line. There's nobody down bottom except for the guys that are having a real issue, or maybe just getting a little bit anxious about hitting that outside line and dropping back to the bottom, and eventually that's going to allow that bottom line to form right back up again, like you see right now behind that 9 of Q-Dog.
Absolutely, Q-Dog still leading the line, whichever one he chooses. Now he gets in front of Cole in that blue number 1, but the 3 cars to the outside holding steadfast. Mr. Cola in the 10, Bill's Legend in the 47, Mathers in the 15, Q-Dog in the 9, can push the 15 because he's second in line. A little confusing, but we'll get used to it. This time across the line, now 23 laps to go in stage number 1. New leader, car 47.
Yeah, car 47, Bill's Legend out there. Q-Dog right there now sitting in P3, and it looks like it's going to be the 15 of King Mathers hanging off the back bumper. But does he go high or does he go low? It looks like Q-Dog is kind of signaling, saying, hey, if you go to that high side, I will go with you. And so he has. So that's left a long train of cars on the bottom, long train of cars up top. Rick, they now look like they just took the green, like they're going into turn 1 and 2 for the very first time, but they're 6 or 7 laps in. J-Pa, congratulations on this rule package, buddy. You did your thing.
I can't believe this is working so well, Pete. It only took drivers themselves to step in to make the proper rule package work. This looks like what we'd see on a Sunday or Saturday afternoon at Daytona. Now 9 laps into stage 1. We're going to have 21 left next time by. That 9 of Q-Dogs has been doing well. They're stacking up out of 2, drivers weaving, trying to avoid each other, and this is going to split the pack, Pete. About 8 drivers got away from that. The rest must now regroup. If this front pack gets in a single line, it could be a wrap.
Yeah, but I tell you what, so that was some great hands by the guys that were involved. A couple of them got knocked below the yellow line, but they kept in it. Nobody really checked up. Just saw that one of Cole 315 getting a huge push and drafting right behind his good old buddy in that 98 old master killer out there. And it's not going to be long before they catch back up. However, Rick, there is one guy all the way in the back that's got a little bit of work to do. I'm going to try to catch up with him right now just to see who he or they are. Looks like it's going to be the 36 and the 66. A couple new guys.
Loser out of that second corner, Pete, was King Mathers in the 15. He lost about 7 positions coming out of turn number 2. Now 8, now 9 with the 44 of Baritone Boss coming to his inside, and it's about to be 10 spots if Commando Griff gets around him. What happened was Mathers was by himself on the inside line out of turn 2 with no help, no momentum down the backstretch, and the high line drafting around him. He lost 10 positions by the time he got into turn 3. Luckily, with the high draft package, Mathers has shot himself back inside the top 5.
Yeah, Mathers doing a pretty phenomenal job. High line still about 4 cars deep. Bottom line has the longest line. And, you know, Rick, again, you touched on it. The guys up top, they can push and shove all they want. As you see right now, riding along with the 20 of Jay Gimbel, they are nose to tail. Everybody up there just locked on, ready to rumble, while the bottom line, headed up by the 47 of Bill's Legend, they can't catch him. They could not get to the bottom and really pull themselves back up to the top 4. But if the 47 was able to catch up and get that line on the bottom going, became the leader, he'd have to check back up and then give the lead back over to, I believe it's, he'd have to give the lead back to the 9. So if you're up top, you're getting shoved around, and you're caught by the guys on the bottom, they have to give way to you. I just thought about that, Rick. That might be the one and only flaw in this whole plan, because, the leader on the bottom can't be pushed. The guys up top are allowed to push no matter how long they want.
It's going to lead to slingshots coming out of the corner as well, Pete. You already see the 15 of Mathers trying to make a move on the inside, but there's just no help, and the game stays the same at the plate tracks. You have to have drafting partners or your efforts are useless. 2 drivers that have made the most of the drafting game are the 5 and the 20 of Little Tank and Jay Gimbel, respectively. They've stayed in the top 5 all race long. Q-Dogs as well in the 9 has really found his way to stay in front of whoever is the fastest car. Now coming to 18 laps to go left in the stage. Actually, I'm well behind that, Pete. It's going to be 17 to go this time in the stage. These drivers, and the 20 of Gimbel's in the wall, these drivers have to exercise caution.
Yeah, the 47 and 98 of Master Miller really had to duck and dodge and dive and dip. And, if you can dodge a ball, you can dodge a car, they say. But, yeah, it had to really get out of the way, and that caused the 20 to drop back just a little bit. But if I'm Jay, I'm not really going to worry right now. He's got another pack coming up behind, and it looks like that pack in the back is just a little bit bigger than the one up front. So if they decide to go ahead and get lined up and quit racing side by side, they will be able to catch back up to the leaders. And this 20 car, he's no slouch. He actually normally does run setups. He participated in the tryouts for the Pro League Season 2, just wasn't quite able to make it. So Jay Gimbel can get up there if they choose to pick him up, but it looks like the 78 is going to flash right on by, as well as the 18 of Blitz and other company.
And those drivers, because they're not leading, can draft on the inside all they want. One driver that used the draft to get to the front was the number 5 of Little Tank, who now leads this race with 16 laps to go in the stage. The JF Electric Supra now in front of the 47 of Bill's Legend, who scrapes the wall and loses momentum. Master Killer in the 98 Mustang now taking second place and sucking up to the leader. Pete, it was brilliant. Rather than nudge his nose on the inside line to shove the driver up, the number 5 of Little Tank, who's now being overtaken for first, created his own space to the outside of the 9 of Q-Dogs and forced him on the inside line, knowing there was no help. Keep your eye on that black Supra. That number 5 driver knows what he's doing. New leader, King Mathers.
Yeah, King Mathers in that 15, and these cars they keep. It's kind of like, it almost looks like they're swapping themselves out of the lead. The 9 of Q-Dog, he was in the lead. He's now about P5 or P6. And then the 5, like you mentioned, Little Tank, he was in the lead. Now the 15 of King Mathers, he's in the lead. So I'm not sure if these guys are just getting antsy, running so close to the wall in order to be able to push each other, and they're making just some slight contact as the wall comes up to them at a phenomenal pace, or if they're just trying to find who's fastest right now, not really racing it out, just kind of burning some laps. As I forgot again to put that stage 1 ticker or graphic up there. There we go, guys. But yeah, we have been green since the drop of the flag, and staying pretty good. These guys have done a whale of a
13.5 laps to go. The lead still in possession of the 15 of King Mathers. Little Tank in the 5 now, hitting Bill's Legend, and I don't know what happened there, if there was a lag spike, but there's a considerable gap to the top 3. Now the 5 and the 47 are losing the draft, while the major pack behind him, about 7 cars deep, starts to catch up. Lucky number 13, laps left at the line, Pete, and this race is far from over.
Way far from over. Still stage number 1, as you said, inside the low teens, and the 10 car, Mr. Cole, is giving that 77 a shove as hard as he could possibly take it. So doing a great job. But now where do they go once they got that run? 10 car Cole and the 77. They took that shot and thread that needle going up the middle. Still, actually, Bill's Legend a little bit of a donkey kick back to that 5 of Lil Tank, and they're going to be able to hold on to it. Great racing by those guys. Still, the 15 of Mathers up top, and he chooses to leave Master Killer on that high side and goes to pick up the 78 on that low. They're going to but now Rick, they can't push. 78 has to realize that he's behind the leader right now and has to stay off his back bumper.
Forgotten Shadow in that black number 78 Supra, now trying to be overtaken by the 10 of Mr. Cola, the 5 of Little Tank, ping-ponging behind cars, but still the inside line marches on as the outside line has not organized. On the backstretch, now Unforgotten Shadow gets in all the bump drafting he can. The 47 leaving space, knowing the 78 will have to check up going into the corner and look at the gap. The 47 now taking advantage, and the 78 of Shadow will be left to dry like forgotten undergarments on the Daytona Beach shore.
I tell you, I don't know if he decided to go down there on his own. I'm guessing he was kind of worried about that wall, worried about his entrance into the corner, whether he's going to hit it on time with penalty points, kind of pretty big tonight if you get them. He may not have wanted to collect anybody behind him, as you see another line trying to form on that inside. Give that 15 of King Mathers a little bit of a challenge here.
98 of Master Killer wiggling and having to bounce off the inside line, now being overtaken by the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow. These cars at the back of this lead pack. Meanwhile, at the point, you have the 15 of Mathers crossing the line with 10 laps left, Pete. The 47 of Bill's Legend is mobile, and he is versatile as well, but don't forget the 5 of Little Tank, who's not afraid to put that Japanese chrome horn right where he needs it. 47 looking with 10 to go. Cars struggling to keep a solid line on the top side. The 0 won't make it. 15 still leads down the back.
Yeah, 15:47.5. One of my first memories of Little Tank was actually in the NNR Truck Series last season. That's when NNR J.R. Horn actually ran in the season in the series as well, and the five all through stage after stage did not leave Horn's back bumper, and he earned a lot of respect as a drafter and as a plate racer. So five Little Tank can get things done. Leaders down pit road.
That's one thing that I completely forgot about tonight is these drivers have to account for pit stops. They need fuel to go. They need fresh rubber to race on. But now it's just occurred. It's the great green flag equalizer with less than 9 laps remaining. Penalties, Pete. Speeding penalties will cripple and destroy any chance to win. Drivers not only have to maintain focus at well over 200 miles per hour, they're going to have to maintain focus getting it down to 55.
I tell you what, I'm kind of at a loss for words at this zero car. He actually just cut under both the 36 and the 5 Little Tank and had an opportunity to possibly take that lead. He dove it down the banking in the corner, was able to pull up just about clear of the 5. It may have been very, very close, but he didn't do it. I think he might be saving that run a little bit for just a little bit later on, but that zero came off the corner with a ton of speed, and that's our buddy LXTX7 or LT7, whatever you want to say. Right now, side by side, we'll have to see if anybody's going to be coming in this time or wait till next. It looks like the 47 in company. There's at least 2 of them coming down pit road right now.
Your new leader in that number 0 Contact Chevrolet is LXTX, getting a good push from the 47 of Bill's Legend. But Pete, they're going to have to review the tape because that 47 did give a push through the corner while they were on the bottom line. Now, the asterisk comes in when the 0 was not the leader while he was being pushed on the bottom line, so we'll need some clarification on the rule. As for now, the 0 of LXTX7 continues to lead, but there's just no momentum on the high side. He scrapes the wall and loses a ton of speed, and we'll see if he comes down pit road this time.
Yeah, the 5 Little Tank absolutely slammed or scrubbed everything that he had on that outside wall. So that's going to bring the 0. It's going to bring the 5 and one other. It's going to be the 38. All down pit road route. That's 3 cars deep, so that once they come out, they should be all right, providing they are communicating on their way down with what they're taking, whether they're taking 1 can and a half, whatever they feel they may need, as well as 4 tires or 2. If you take 4, you take no tires and just a can for the next stage, or fill it up rather. I can't really see a reason starting a stage as to why you'd only take less than 2 cans. But hey, we've seen stranger things here so far this season. Right?
The number 13 of Commando Griff taking the lead in that Supra as he now comes down pit road. We'll see he's coming at an incredible rate of speed, Pete. Oh, goodness, I think he overcooked it, and that could be a burnt steak headed into pit road. We'll need to keep our eye on the pan and see if it starts to get some stuck gristle. But that Toyota Knoxville Supra now comes down for 4 tires and fuel, possibly more.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with Griff. And not only if he gets a speeding penalty, that's one thing, but Ricky also went down pit road by himself, so that's going to be something completely different. But as you said, pit stop being the great equalizer, which also leads to other cars kind of singled out by themselves around the track, those that lost the draft. So as we're looking on right now with the 47 of Bill's Legend, they just passed the 5 Little Tank. Little Tank was actually in this lead draft before all that, and I'm not sure if he just got lapped or if he's just catching back up as the lead pack goes on by him. But right now, Bill's giving that 18 of Blitz a good old shove. Everybody's still on that high side where it is completely legal to push and shove all you want.
They're going to be all pushy and shovey through this top line. The 15 of Mathers in second place right now, passing the 16 of Budrow. The 18 of Blitz sits in third place. Fourth is the 47 of Bills legend Master Killer, rounds out the top 5 in that number 98 Ford Performance Mustang. Across the line, Pete, now 4 laps remaining in the opening stage. The racing has been nothing short of fantastic and masterful. The 5 of Little Tank trying to get a push going on that inside line, but so far the top's where everybody wants to be. The 47 now making a pass for third place.
And 47 right there behind the 15 of King Mathers. Everybody still behind that 16. I think this is the first time we've talked about the 16 up in the lead, really holding that Dale Jr., that Kyle Larson, whatever line you want to call it, around that outside. Right now, he is the Dale Jr., he is the Pied Piper, really guiding everyone, and then off the corner, a little bit of a reflex there, pull a little bit lower than you really have to. But, man, that's going to show how much wheel and how much attention they're paying to these corners. Nobody wants to go up into that wall, slam it, collect the field behind you, and on top of the worry about going to the back because you caused a caution, you've also got those penalty points that J-Pod talked about, as now they're side by side, first and fourth.
The 47 of Bills legend trying to slingshot out of the corner into the lead, 1 car at a time, and so far, Pete, it's working, because that 47 is now your new leader with less than 4 laps remaining. It'll be 3 laps to go at the line, Pete, and he has been picking cars off one by one at will. Just a great performance so far. Now Mathers in the 15 trying to challenge, and they've got momentum on the inside.
Yeah, a little bit of momentum on the inside, but again, they cannot lock bumpers. So King Mathers has to really just rely on that arrow push that he gets rather than actual physical contact to the back of his Sandy Camaro. But right now, the 47 to 16 and the other 2 cars up top, they can push all they want. Cars on the bottom have to leave the leader alone, or the car on the bottom alone, until he's no longer in the lead. But once he gets to that point, once he passes that 47, if he gets there, they've got to let him go. And again, let that high line continue. Which, again, I think that's just the one little glitch in J-Pod's package tonight, but still, this side-by-side action has been phenomenal since the drop. And Rick, next time they come to the start stripe, we're going to have one lap remaining here in stage number 1.
Pete, the white flag is in the air, and there's less than 2.5 miles remaining in this opening stage. They're drafting down the back, and they're going to drag race for the lead. No pushing for the leader on the inside line, but there's less cars on the outside. There's a lag spike and shadow in the 78, dumped to the inside grass. Drag race through the third corner, Pete. Which draft will prevail?
We'll have to see where King Mathers decides to go. Here comes a big old run from the 10, coming up behind the 15. He can't touch him. He can't lock, at least I should say. He can give him a little bit of a bump and let go just like he did. Side by side, 15, 16, 10, 47, the 98 of Master Killer, the 18 of Blitz. That's going to be about your top 5 or your top 6. Once the rest of the field catches up, they'll be able to go on in, make any adjustments that they need. But I'm sure with their setups this week, they've got everything pretty much well in hand. Ladies and gents out there in chat, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back. Thanks for hanging out.
Hey NNR fans, are you looking for a way to rep your favorite NASCAR Heat Preset League on Xbox Live? Look no further. Just go to nnrleague.com, scroll down to the Zazzle tab, and see what we have to offer. From t-shirts to hoodies to clocks, we have everything you need to show your support. Thanks for being the best fans, and we hope to see you at the track repping that NNR red.
All right, as always, just the way we promise, you don't miss a thing. Anytime we take a quick leave commercial break, I still want to thank the one and only NNR Mountain or Mountaineer 13, whatever he may go by nowadays, for that commercial, as well as the other one, which we'll see just a little bit later. Rick, stage 2, here we go.
27 laps in this opening stage, and at the front of this one, Pete, we have a new leader in car number 38, Outlawed Beast. Here comes Budrow in the 16 with help from Cola in the 10. Those two going to draft around the 38 on the outside. A great drag race to end stage number 1, Pete. We'll see if we get that same effect in stage 2.
I'm sure there will. I mean, just for a moment right there, 38 actually had somebody to pull off of on that bottom line until they all decided to go back up high again. 47, 98 of Master Killer, the 18 of Blitz. They're going to be the first ones to go to the bottom. All three, as I know, two of these guys are part of that famed J-Pom militia. So we'll have to see that 44 with a huge closing ratio back up to the 38. Again, Outlawed Beast doing pretty well, keeping it up there, a little bit of contact with that outside wall. That's going to scrub off just a little bit of momentum, and now they are side by side, top and bottom, 4 rows deep, going down the backstretch.
Huge shove on the outside from Outlawed Beast to the 15 of King Mathers, which is legal on that high line. Bringing up the rear is going to be the 36 of Need for Speed Demon. Combat Beast into the 8, now behind the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow, pushing that inside line. And the 47 of Bill's Legend leading the line now, shoots up to the high side in front of the 98 of Master Killer, so he can get that push. 25 laps to go in stage number 2.
Stage number 2 still just started. Everybody here will have to make at least one green flag pit stop. Ladies and gents, we have been green the entire first stage. All we had was just that stage break. So if you caught right there, or if that's right where you joined up, welcome to the NNR Xfinity Series live from Daytona. The first time this season these guys are actually running full setups. Actually, it's the first time ever NNR is experimenting with setups at both Daytona and Talladega. So if you like what you're seeing tonight, you're going to want to join back a little bit later on in the season, or you can go to nnrleague.com, take a look at the schedule for yourself, and see which tracks are coming up that you're absolutely not going to want to miss. I guarantee if you go on up to the follow button, you give that thing a big old slam, and then you tack on that subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss a thing. And there it is, Rick, curse of the commentator. Huge wreck going on back there in turns 3 and 4, or 1 and 2.
Massive wreck, Pete. I think everybody was just trying to find some real estate that did not exist out there. Not really sure how else to call that one. But as expected, and let's not make any mistake, Pete, this is the first time they've had any sort of contact tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm actually kind of surprised, unless they're racing it back to the line, that J-Pod, the series admin, has not called a manual caution since the one for the game did not come out. So right now, riding along with the 9, let's see if everybody gets off the throttle as they pass the start stripe. And yeah, Q-Dog goes ahead and rolls out of the throttle. And for the first time tonight, actually get to see that 8 Hellman's Camaro sitting inside the top 5 or top 6. Combat Beast is slowly and methodically working his way through this chess-like moving draft that we've got here at Daytona.
Pete, I think that's good. That's what it's going to take, is just picking them off one by one. That's what Combat Beast has been doing early on in this race. We're going to restart here with close to 20 laps to go in the stage. So some of these drivers, I believe most of them will be able to make it all the way to the end, if not certainly beyond. So it's going to be everything out the window now, Pete. A full tank of fuel, 4 fresh tires, and run what you brung to end the second stage.
Yeah, man, that was, Rick, I got to tell you, man, that was a phenomenal run for all these guys. There's a couple of new guys in here. They've never run, the speeds are a lot bigger. They got a different draft or a different racing package that J-Pa has brought. Knight's out there in chat saying that, God, I hope we do this package tomorrow night. Now, I did see Coey in here a little bit ago. Knights, whether that falls on deaf ears or not, I don't know, but I would absolutely hit up Coey, say you need to bring yourself back to Pete's stream and see what's going on, because the racing has been phenomenal. Rock NASCAR, buddy, thank you very much for coming out and hanging out. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you very much for the bits. And Big Ray 86, thank you very much for the follow, sir. If you're just catching up, this is the NNR Xfinity Series from Daytona. if this is the first time you're ever catching them, welcome aboard. You're in for one hell of a show. Rick, guys are coming off pit road. Any adjustments they may feel they had to make. Let's see how this works out for them.
Pete, any adjustments that the drivers have made will certainly be for the shorter term. This stage is going to be over in just under 21 laps when we take this green flag. So everyone will make it on fuel, everyone will make it on tires, but will they make it on patience?
Well, Rick, side by side for many, many laps. We've seen just a little bit of caution, or just a little bit of contact, I should say, here lately. Before that, it was relatively clean. In the beginning of the race, there were some guys that lost the initial draft, but with that first round of pit stops, it kind of brought everybody somewhat back together after the draft was able to bring everybody back. But man, this package to where you can't push on the bottom has also helped that. We're going to restart this with the 66, the 47 of Bill's Legend, the 1 of Cole 315, and that 38 to the outside. So your top 4 pretty much has stayed stable in the top 5 all night long. No surprise to see this 47 truck train Camaro up high and dry, ready to get back going. Not sure if he's going to be the control car and has chosen the outside line. I guess we'll have to see who goes first. But Rick, about to enter the tri-oval, about ready to throw that green flag back in the air. I'm ready to see some more.
For the first time in the top 5 tonight, Zachary Jason in that number 99 Toyota Supra will be leading us to the line, and the number 8 of Combat Beast breaks into the top 5 for the first time tonight. 21 laps to go at the World Center of Racing. Stage number 2 is almost at an end. We're racing once again.
Yeah, 99 Zachary Jason again. He was just welcomed back by NNR. He's actually in one of the tryout races that Boehner had just the other night, that the one and only NNR Rowdy streamed for all the admins to be able to go back and watch. So Zachary Jason was very, very competitive in last season's competition, early last season's competition. So with him back, it's going to absolutely add a little bit of strength to the NNR Xfinity Series ranks. Looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do once we get back to the presets and we get back to the normal tracks. Now, Rick, next week is going to be the first road course of this season. They're going to bring it on over to the Charlotte Roval. I will be here for that, but you're going to have just about all the action for all 3 series. So we're going to want to make sure that at some point tonight, in fact, you know what, right now is as good a time as any. Guys, I'm going to put Rick James's channel out there in the chat. Make sure you go on down, give that this channel a big old follow. Make sure you smash it. Rick is the newest Twitch affiliated with NNR, so congratulate him on that as well. Rick, there's a whole season yet ahead of us, and I'm glad you're here with me, buddy.
It's my privilege to be here with No Name Racing, and I hope to make everyone here proud. So far, these drivers are making me proud to call this exciting, exciting race. Now 19 laps remaining at Daytona in stage number 2. The 47 of Bill's Legend leads. For the first time in the top 3, it's the number 1 of Cole into that Dale Jr. Camaro. The 13 of Commando Griff is 4th. Combat Beast 5th. And, I'm sorry, Combat Beast sits in 4th. Looks like the 13 of Commando Griff is in 3rd. The inside line is dominant tonight in stage 2, Pete.
Yeah, inside line is dominant right now. But Rick, up front, I'm trying to catch up. These guys are too fast with these setups. I can't even catch up with the cameras. But the guys on the bottom cannot push. So yeah, you see the 1 of Cole 315, the 47 of Bill's Legend right ahead of him with the 13 of Commando Griff sitting right here in P3. These guys can't push the 47. So I'm actually kind of surprised that they haven't gone up top to where they could push. Or Rick, do they just need a break from having to really navigate that wall on the outside? Have they suffered too much damage and had to spend some extra time on pit road in order to get the car back right? Have they had enough of that high side for now?
Pete, there's less stability on the high side, and because the drivers have to correct the line so often, it leads to more tire wear. Now it seems like the outside line has been abandoned for the inside line, but the slingshot is still more than possible because the driver second in line has to hang back and not push the driver up ahead. 47, 1, 13, your top three, Chevrolet, Toyota. Another lap ticks by, and right now, Pete, everybody's playing the waiting game.
Yeah, waiting to see how long they. Okay, enough of this. We're faster on the high side. Looks like the 9 of Q-Dog. He's going to be the first to go out there. And look, here comes that 8 Hellman's Camaro for the one and only Combat Beast. He's going to pick up that high side. I know the kind of equipment he's got, and I know the kind of pushers that he's got behind him. And the 47 of Bill's Legend, he knows exactly what's up there as well. He went up to pick him up, and the 47 got too high and actually slammed that outside wall. Here comes additional company. They're wrecking behind them. Yep, I see the 99 around and others. This should be a caution. I have a feeling if the game caution doesn't come out, J-Pod's going to call it.
Pete, that 47 was a brave man trying to get up to that high side and throw the block. Shades of Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to throw that block, but now the car painted like Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads this race after that fatal mistake that sent Bills all the way to the back of the pack. Caution number 2, and I can tell you one thing, Pete, the 47 of Bill's Legend is going to try that move one more time, and I bet he'll pull it off the second time. For now, Cole 315 is your new leader in the number 1 Oreo Chevrolet.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, Rick. That one Oreo is a beautiful car. It does bring back quite a bit from Dale Jr.'s Xfinity Series races, and of course his Cup time over at DEI when he wasn't driving that 8 Bud car, that everybody remembers him for. This the blue Oreo, and of course the blue AC Delco. I've actually got the blue AC Delco as well as the other blue AC Delco with Superman on the hood. Right now, this one car with the speed that he's got, the 13 of Commando Griff right behind him, once he comes on down pit road, if that's what he chooses to do, and it looks like he's actually going to stay out, say he probably feel like Superman, but the entire back half of the field is going to come on down pit road, leaving the 113.9, and I believe it's going to be the 38 up front on some older tires. But after that last caution and these caution laps, I'm going to guess they're pretty good to go on fuel.
He should be good to go on fuel, Pete, but I think tires are also going to wear like never before because these drivers are running at such high speeds. The number 1 of Cole has a big responsibility now to hang on to that lead. Behind him, it looks like he's going to have the number 9 of Q-Dogs with Commando Griff starting on the outside with the number 78 of Unforgotten Shadow. Now, again, all that depends on the choose cone, Pete. If they're playing the choose cone tonight, but the inside line so far has been the line of choice in Stage 2.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because they needed a break from like we were saying before, a break from that high side and a break from the possible damage or a break from the repair time that it took once they were able to go down pit road. But yeah, here we go. It's going to be the 1 and the 13. They're going to line up side by side. You got the 9 of Q-Dog, and I can't quite see who's on the outside right there in P4, but we'll have to see which line gets up and gets going and gets gone first. It's gonna be a drag race, and like you said, Rick, we're in the close-ups.
It's going to be 15 laps to go the next time they cross the line. Cole on the inside, the 13 of Griff on the outside. Q-Dogs starting 3rd, Unforgotten Shadow in 4th, Budrow starting in 5th, Little Tank 6th place. The 38 of Outlawed Beast is going to be restarting 7th, Mathers 8th, Combat Beast 9. It looks like the 47 of Bill's Legend is in 10th. We're going to be coming to 15 to go again, Pete. I can't call it, Pete. I can't put a red chip on any of these drivers and say spin the wheel. But I like it that way. It's fast, it's loose, it's unpredictable, but it's not dangerous, Pete. These drivers are really putting in the work to make sure that their race is clean and the fans at home get to watch a masterful, skillful display.
Well, this skillful display is about to test them all one more time, see if they can keep up what they've been doing all night long. One car, Cole 315, 13 car of Commando Griff, hammered down. One's going to be able to get up and get through the gears a little bit better, or maybe just a little bit earlier of a restart. And Commando Griff's going to be able to fall right back into P2, sitting right there. As you said, Rick, that bottom line has more traffic than the top right now. A little bit of contact in the back, put one car up in the wall, but he's able to keep there and not lose the draft. These guys are still getting up to speed.
Still getting up to speed and a lot of work to do. That number 1 of Cole now throwing the same block that the 47 used that almost caused a caution. Cole now going back down to the inside after getting the push from the 9 of Q-Dogs. Cole now has to commit to the inside with no help from the 13 of Commando Griff. But now the 9 of Q-Dogs has no help. The drivers behind him struggle to get it together. The 16 of Budrow now can't get to the inside. He's got the 8 of Combat Beast to his inside. The 47 of Bill's Legend now behind the 9 of Q-Dogs on the outside has momentum one more time. Cole still leads with 13 laps left.
13 laps left and 13 and a big old point in his mirror. 47 came down on the 78 just a little bit, or 38 rather, was able to keep it. Not sure if that was a pinch effort or what that was. Maybe just, man, some great driving as they are side by side still, because the one of Cole 315 cannot be locked onto. He has to stay separate by just a little bit. And Commando Griff looks like he's doing a phenomenal job of kind of controlling that distance between himself and the one of Cole.
Pushing where he can, but staying off where he can't. It looks like Q-Dogs has momentum on the outside, and they finally might clear the leader this time. Less than a dozen laps in stage number 2. Q-Dog still leading, but has not been able to clinch the lead, as that inside line has great momentum at a 2. The 13 now able to push the 1 down the back, but that outside line has the momentum. Q-Dogs, Bill's Legend, Budrow, your top 3 on the outside.
Yeah, meanwhile, his other J-Pop Militia, Cole 315 on the inside with Commando Griff right there. Right now, they are 3 wide. Can they hold it right there? Coming through the corner, it looks like they were able to. Great track awareness as they're still 3 wide back here.
11 laps left as Q-Dogs crosses the line in first. Cole is in second, and the 20 of Jay Gimbal is in third. Camaro, Supra, your top 3. Pete, the 47 of Bill's Legend, scraped the outside wall out of turn number 3, and he's been shoved well outside of the top 10 with no help on the top line, and he continues to sink like a stone in the middle of Lake Lloyd. The 9 of Q-Dogs leads the 1 of Cole down that super stretch. No bump drafting, but they still maintain high speed into 3.
Absolutely, that's where that that push from behind, that arrow push, comes into play. Normally when you're talking about an arrow push at a track like Chicago or Vegas, or Michigan, somewhere like that, it's a bad thing. Here you want that little bit of a push from behind. Whoa, big closing by the 92 and the 99 of Zachary Jason. That just crumpled up the entire back end of that 99, adding to what damage he already had. And there's cars spinning behind this main pack. We'll have to see once they get back to the start stripe if J-Pod goes ahead and throws out the caution. I would imagine so, with at least 2 or 3 cars going around. But that was just an example, and it was caught right here on camera of the closing rate that was there, and they couldn't do anything at all.
The 8 of Combat Beast was involved. The 5 of Little Tank was involved. They went from the top 10 all the way to 18th and 19th, second to last and last place respectively. The 20 of Jay Gimbal, the 98 of Master Killer crumpled up in that accident, and obviously the 99 of Zachary Jason, who crosses the line in 4th place, involved in that one also. 10 laps to go when they cross the line, so we're going to have a shootout with flared tempers to close out the second stage.
Yeah, some of those guys behind are going to be a little upset. They went from 3 wide. It looked like they were going to be able to handle it, and then all hell broke loose, and they, some cars just caught the worst end of it. So J-Pop mentioned that tonight there's going to be some points given out, and they weren't positive points. He said he didn't give out any penalty points for Bristol last week, but they were definitely going to be giving them out here tonight. Stout wants to know who won stage 1. I believe it was the 13 of Griff, if I'm not mistaken. Was that right? I think so. Yes, that I think it was the 13 of Commando Grip. I could be wrong, buddy, but they were side by side, 3 or 4 rows deep coming to the line. So yeah.
I thought it was the 15 of Mathers, Pete, but I could also be wrong. I'm so focused on stage 2, I don't remember who was in first at the end of stage 1, but we'll go back to the tape when the time calls. But it's been fantastic racing so far. Shout out to Tom Flitty in the chat, Fatless Dig, Stout Whiskey, everybody that's joined us so far. Let's get some more fans in here because we cannot keep this excellent level of racing to ourselves. If you know any racing fans, any NASCAR fans, get them in here. Twitch.tv/repeat 1975. You will not find a greater quality of racing on Xbox than No Name Racing in NASCAR Heat 5.
Yeah, Tom's asking, great racing are the rules. It's kind of funny how you kind of pick up on that. Unless Tom, you were listening earlier, just we didn't quite give enough information. Basically, Tom, if you're up high and you're in the lead, you can be pushed all you want. If you're down low and you're in the lead, the guy in second place cannot touch your bumper after an initial hit. So that gives a whole lot of option or opportunity to really get that high line going and for the guys on the bottom to really compete. It's done pretty well tonight, and I'm not sure if J-Pop came up with this by himself, but yeah, it's been a phenomenal race. All right, so Rick, we're gonna rack and stack them back up one more time. We got a couple of J-Pop Militia teammates or friends, I guess I should say. Really, no teammates here in the NNR Xfinity series. But the 9 of Q-Dog and the 1 of Cole 315, they're gonna make up your front row. 13 of Commando Grip and the 38, I believe, are going to be in row 2, and then it's going to be the 99, I think that is, of Zachary Jason right there in P number 5. As the rest of the back end of the field gets caught up with the main pack, fills in the line, and we're gonna set them free one more time. As soon as old Combat Beast comes by the start stripe on this restart, we'll get you a lap count with what's left. But stage 2 is winding down. Stage 3, Rick, as you say, the money stage, we're not too far away, and I think that's really where you're going to start to see the move he made.
4 Chevrolets in the top 5, coming to 7 laps to go in stage number 2. 1-9 of Cole and Q-Dogs on the inside. Commando Griffin, the 13, cannot push the 1 of Cole per the rules, but the 38 of Outlawed can push the 9 of Q-Dog on the high side. Q-Dog now goes to the inside trying to pull the 1 with him, but will he abandon him to get the bump draft down the back? The 13 shoving the 1 of Cole, momentum on the inside line, but will it last? 6.5 laps left.
A little bit more momentum up on that high side. They got 4 cars nose to tail. Again, the 9 of Q-Dog, he cannot be pushed by his buddy in that 1 on the bottom line. And because of that, you see that high line moving. The 1 car kind of laying back, 13 of Commando Griff behind him. Now the 13 can shove the 1 all he wants, but once he gets up to that 9's back bumper, he has to let off. They cannot push that 9. Now, if the 9 goes up to the high side and picks up the 38, it's all is fair in love and war and game on. So we'll have to see where the 9 decides to go. But right now, Rick, it's kind of like he's been running both lines, at least in the beginning, just right now choosing to pick up the bottom.
5.5 laps to go. The number 9 of Q-Dogs leads the number 1 of Colt down the backstretch. The 20 of Jay Gimbal third in line on the inside. The top line sees the number 38 of Outlaw leading the 47 of Bill's Legend on that inside. And I believe for the first time that's going to be the 36 car that's made his way into the front pack, being piloted by NFS Demon 24. 5 laps to go at Daytona, and both lines are neck and neck.
Look at the run the outside had, 38, 47, 36. Big train coming, and Q-Dog had no choice but to let them go. He saw what happened earlier when the 47 pulled on up to pick up the run that was coming, and it ended in disaster, ended in caution, all kinds of damage to the 47, and had to be relegated all the way back to the rear. A little bit of a server bump right there, and this might cause some problems.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh
10:08
man.
Eastern Standard Time, or I don't know, it's not standard anymore.
Ah,
10:08 Eastern Time, Pete, and we
there it is.
completely missed the bump. I saw the clock flash past 10 p.m. and I thought to myself, thank goodness we survived the bump. Alas, Pete, victims one more time.
Yeah, I'm going to try to drop back down into chats. Guys, please bear with me one moment. There may not be any audio, but I can tell you that Combat Beast is actually still out there on track. I'll switch over to his stream so you can kind of get an idea of what's happening from his point of view while we reach out to Team Comms and see if we can't get an invite back if they're going to decide to keep racing or not. I'll be right back.
In here, but like it's undrivable. Like
Did
that's the point.
everybody
You
lag
might
out?
as well not be in here. It's so bad.
Yeah, everybody's just going back and forth.
Yeah, repeat. I got kicked from the lobby. Everybody's lagging right now.
All right, so
Holy shit.
are we
It
gonna
was bad.
call it since we're past halfway, or what are we doing?
We're not past halfway. We're
Yeah,
just
we're
in
not.
second stage.
Oh yeah, we're still in stage 2. Yeah, never mind.
We're
Can't
still
call
running.
it.
I mean, I don't know what you guys want to do.
We cannot
Maybe
call
wait
it.
out until the stage end to see if it fixes. Maybe.
Cannot call this. Please do not do that to me.
Just a heads up, everyone's audio is hot.
Hey Pete, tell him to look at my stream.
Hey NNR fans, are you looking for a way to rep your favorite NASCAR Heat Preset League on Xbox Live? Look no further.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for continuing to stick around. All right, so you saw the end of stage 2 right there off of Combat Beast's stream. So definitely want to thank Combat Beast for at least giving y'all something to look at while they were figuring out what was going on. Rock, I couldn't agree with you more. Right at 10 o'clock or 10:08 rather, it just couldn't be avoided. It seems like it's the common time, man. Sorry, everybody, but what they're going to do is they're going to start back up with just one stage, just a little under 60 laps, give or take. And as soon as they get in, they're going to line up the way that they did after qualifying and start stage number 3. And yeah, that's what we'll have for you. But definitely want to thank everybody for sticking around. We absolutely appreciate it. Alpha York, welcome. Worm Rider, good to see you. Tom, yeah, that was some great racing. But you know what, Rick? We're coming back to that package. Nothing's going to change. The racing is going to be just as phenomenal. I don't know if everybody elsewhere experienced that same bump. If they did, well, rip. I apologize that we can do about it. They fixed, for the most part. I think that was the first big bump that we've taken since they came out with that patch last week or so when they fixed all the tires and whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah, Pete. It's something that I think we've learned to deal with for now, but it's something that a lot of the community really could do without. I say a lot of the community, Pete. It's something that every last person in this community could deal without. However, the show will go on. And really, we couldn't have picked a better time for the bump to crash the server because we're going to start approximately with right around the same number of laps we would have had in stage 3. So the show will go on. Fans, do stay tuned, but this is your chance to click the share button on your PC, your phone, your tablet, whatever you happen to be watching on. Share the link. Twitch.tv/repeat 1975. We're going to go racing here in just a couple of minutes.
And guys, I'm gonna drop this because it's what's been going across the top of your screen. I'm sure you've seen the collage going as well. smairbrushing.com. The guy is he's been phenomenal throughout my entire life. I met him when I was a teenager. He taught me, some of the different things in and around Kung Fu. He kept me off the streets. I used to lift with the guy, and right when he started getting into his painting and his airbrushing, doing bar mitzvahs, weddings, all kinds of things, he kind of let a young teenager follow along. So guys, please go on over to Instagram if you got it, and give my buddy Steve Moran a big follow. He's up in South Jersey. I'll actually be bringing my wife to him on Monday rather, to get a tattoo by him. He does oil paintings, airbrushing, tattoo, murals. He paints cars, motorcycles, you name it, he paints it, and he does a phenomenal job. Just like you've seen everything, cycling through in the top right-hand corner of the screen. I'm going to put up his website as well. Please go on over. Y'all have heard of the struggling artist or the starving artist, the whole thing that went back a while ago. This guy, he does phenomenal work. He is a published artist, which not a lot of people can say. And yeah, just go on out, visit him. Give him a follow on Instagram. Hit him up if you got motorcycle parts that you may want done. A hockey helmet, motorcycle helmet, football helmet, whatever, and anything that you may need or want painted, he can do. Tell him that I sent you, and I tell you what, you tell him that I sent you, and we'll work out some kind of a deal on the shipping. But man, you're not going to want to. You're not going to be able to find anybody any better. All right, so Unforgotten Shadow says even never mind. Even Virtual 9 can make a better. Okay. But yeah, all of us can make better servers than these dumb 704 gaming pieces of poop. Yeah. It's an issue that we've got to work through. Hopefully, Rick, when we get to the next game, whether it's hopefully it's available for the Xbox One, Xbox One X, and S, and not just the Series X. Hopefully, it's available for everybody. But I'm looking forward to the next one. My only hope, Rick, is that it's not another work in progress. That it's going to be good from go. That you figure between NASCAR Heat 3, 4, 5, they've had enough time to practice. They should be able to put out just a good product for right out of the box.
Well, Pete, next year the game's going to be built on an entirely different platform. NASCAR Heat 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, all designed on what was originally a platform for mobile gaming. So NASCAR Heat 6, or whatever the new game will be called, will literally be a brand new game, not just an evolution of what once was. So the entire community has good reason to look forward to this game, but certainly the entire community will be expecting greatness from this next game as well. Personally, I see it as a make or break year for the NASCAR gaming franchise.
Yeah, I mean, and that's 100% fact. If you go back to, like you just said, Rick, if you go to your phone and just look into the game that you're downloading, the game that you're playing, it's run on what's called the Unity engine, the same exact engine that the game on your console runs off of. So I'm hoping we can change that up, get something better, kind of like what Forza or any of these other high graph games look like, and kind of get into the game, get into the ballpark of these other series. Project Cars, like I said, Forza Horizon, F1. I watched that race, that the one and only Atlanta Racing broadcast last weekend for F1 for Shake and Bake. That looked phenomenal.
Pete, speaking of Atlanta Racing and F1, this Saturday, yours truly will actually be joining the great ATL in this weekend's Shake and Bake race, Saturday 1 p.m. on Atlanta Racing.
Tell you what, you guys want to go over and give the one and only Atlanta Racing a follow, and make sure you leave notifications on so you know when Rick James joins up with the one and only Atlanta. Here you go. Go ahead and tag onto that and follow along. And like I said, next week when NNR Truck Xfinity and Cup Series heads to the Roval, Rick James is going to be at the helm for all of that. So you're going to want to make sure you take this link as well, and you pound on that follow button, and keep up with him, because he's going to have the truck with the one and only Lucky. He's going to bring a special booth in to the Xfinity race, and then of course he'll be with Word Burton for the Cup race. So you're going to want to keep up with Rick James all next week when my wife and I are away on a little bit of a vacation, and Rick will call you all the way through every single one of those races. Rick, I'm about ready to send this invite out to you right now, and we're going to call this third stage.
Pete, after a bit of a rain delay here, if you will, we're going to get back into this third stage, whatever you want to call this this virtual delay. Mirroring real life NASCAR as we've seen so recent in these past few weeks. But we're going to get this underway here, Pete. I think we're ready. Yeah, that little break, kind of a good cool down there, no?
Yeah, a little bit. I still have some liquids by my side. Now, they're going to take a pace lap, I believe, and get back into somewhat of their qualifying position if they remember it, and then go green on their second lap. Just like before, Q-Dog pulling ahead to give a lot of space behind him to allow guys to jockey into the position that they need to be. Combat Beast and J-Pod, thank you very much for the follow. If you're following along, we are in. We definitely appreciate it. And I'm going to have to adjust the timing on these notifications. That way, it seems like they're staying up for about a minute. I'm not sure what I changed, but it's better than them disappearing and not having them anymore. Combat B says 2 people didn't make it back after the red flag demon and outlaw. So looks like we'll be coming back. About 18 people out here on track from Daytona, Rick. So a little bit less of a field. No difference in the action, though. That's for sure.
No difference in the action whatsoever. In fact, Pete, I think we're going to have much more hesitation. There's going to be no stages in this last 50 laps, as it's going to be the third stage. So these drivers are going to get underway here at a great rate of speed. We're going to have right around 46, 47 laps to go when we take this green flag, Pete. I'm excited once again. My heart's starting to get a little bit fast just thinking about all the possibilities in this final stage. Same game, same players. Q-Dog has been at the front for the helm of this one. Bill's Legend has been one of the hardest chargers all night. I think he's passed more cars than anyone else tonight, but that's due to his 2 scrapes on the outside wall. So as Bill's Legend makes those fantastic cutting passes, we'll see if he can hang on to her third time around.
All right, so that was their lap just to make sure that nobody lagged out. That's why they did it just a little bit faster. Now it's time to get into position and get ready to go. Like you said, Bill's Legend, he's got the 47. I'm sorry, the 9 of Q-Dog, 47 of Bill's Legend, the 1 of Cole 315. A few of those J-PA militia or J-PA Army guys, depending on whatever you want to call them, they're all going to be up at the front. In fact, they're going to be first through third. So not a bad start for those guys. Each and every one of them knows how the rest race. Behind them, Rick, you look a little bit deeper in the field. It looks like there might be a little bit of confusion as to where they need to be. J-Pod's probably yelling out starting orders, and they just need to take their time and listen to J-Pod. He knows what he's doing and get lined up. Backwood Outcast, good to see you out there. Backwood, we had to restart after a little bit of a server bump right about 10:08. Kind of the traditional time, or so it seems. It's almost like an unwanted holiday anytime we have a good race going. But we're going to kick this off. First and second stage went off with pretty much without a hitch until end of stage 2. So what you're watching now is the recreated start for stage number 3. As Rick just said, 50 laps is going to make up this stage, which would have been right about the actual amount of laps. So, Rick, getting ready to go. 9-1 on the front row. Everybody else behind them getting lined up. I'm going to defer this start over to you, good buddy.
Lined up side by side out of the fourth corner. I'm sorry, looks like we're going into the fourth corner. Sorry, I'm a bit ahead of myself, man. The excitement's just ramping up here. 9 to the inside of Q-Dogs, the number 1 of Cole 315 on the outside in that Oreo Chevrolet. 3 Chevrolets into the top 3. Mr. Cola in the 10 will be starting from the shotgun right behind the 9, but we have to remind ourselves of the rules as I see a little lag spike there. The lead car cannot be pushed on the inside line. 48 laps to go, 9 leads. Let's wrap this up, Pete. Here we go.
Yeah, it's going to be the 9 and the 1 of Cole 350 to the outside. There is the 20 of Jay Gimbel, rather. And yeah, if you're just joining us, this is a little bit of a special racing package that J-Pop put together. Like Rick just said, the 9 of Q-Dog, he cannot be pushed by the 1 of Cole 315. Cole can stay right there on his back bumper, give him a little bit of a shot with the air, but that is about it. Looks like a few cars way deep in the back, Rick, got a little squirrely and lost the whole draft, but only the guys up top can push. Now, once the flip side of that is if you're in the lead, like if the 1 and the 20 wanted to go up high, they could push all they want. It's just the leader cannot be pushed on the bottom line. That's why you see the 1 and the 13 keeping their distance from the 9, but the 8, he can be pushed up high all he wants. Rick, let's see if that 9 or any of those other cars move on up as that high side gets moving.
They're moving on up to the east side of the racetrack, and the 9 of Q-Dog finally has a piece of that lead pie all by himself. Getting in front of that 1 is not his agenda. He plans to stay in front of the 8 of Combat Beast down the backstretch. Mr. Cola is the pusher behind the 8. 8 now trying to slingshot to the inside of the 9 in turn number 3. Q-Dogs has no help. Combat Beast clears the 9. Will he go up top? No. He stays down low, trying to pull Cole with him, and look at the lead the 8 now has.
Yeah, he got a huge pull off the back of the 9 and didn't even have to try to, do anything with him. He was able to just slingshot all the way around him. A huge run. Again, another benefit of having full setups. The first time ever, and they're doing a pretty good job. It looks like the 8 kind of might have ran out of a little bit of talent there. Hit that outside wall and fell all the way back. In fact, he's facing the wrong way at the start of this backstretch. I don't know if that's going to bring out a caution. It looks like it was a one-car wreck, and if the caution does not come out, the 9 of Q-Dog has inherited the lead, and he's got 5 hungry drivers sitting right behind him.
Boudreaux behind him in the 16, drafting up to the 9, to the line. 9-car leads, 16 in second place. Now on the outside line, we stay green at Daytona. Boudreaux slingshotting around the 9 of Q-Dogs into turn number 1, but there's help. There's a gentle nudge into turn number 1. Now the 1 gently backs off, but so far no harm, no foul. Outside line, no help, and Boudreaux sinks all the way to the back.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I kind of anticipated the 1 of Cole 315 would go with his buddy Q-Dog. I wasn't quite sure where the 13 of Commando Griff would go, but I thought for sure if those 2 cars stayed down on the bottom, the other 3 would go up high, knowing that they could push all they want, where Q-Dog could not be pushed on the bottom and try to work their way around on the high side. And those those additional 4 really not quite knowing what they wanted to do has allowed these cars just that were a little bit further back to pull their way on up with those higher gears. And went from a 5-car train to about 10 or 12.
Or 12 to settle it in this stage. Coming to that 40 to go mark, the 9 of Q-Dog leads, the 1 of Cole is in second. Jay Gimbel back in third, but that 20 car has climbed no higher. Boudreaux now trying to make the pass on the outside with no help, and it won't go. So now the 1 of Cole getting a run on Q-Dogs out of that 4th corner to complete lap number 8.
Yeah, lap number 8 now in the books as the 9 crosses the line. Riding along right now with the 47 of Bill's Legend. Although he probably didn't want to see that server bump take effect, he's probably pretty thankful for it. Who knows if he was actually able to fully repair all the damage he got from that earlier incident, but he doesn't care. He's getting a huge push from that 15 of King Mathers. Will they take it up high, or will they just hit the car down low? It looks like they're going to stay right with the 13 of Commando Griff. 1 and 9 doing their little dance. Top 5, all single file.
Single file out of the 4th corner. The 9 of Q-Dogs continues to lead this race, and he's enjoying the gap at the front to the 1 of Cole. 13 car of Commando Griff being shoved by the 47 of Bill's Legend, and then it looks like the 99 is in 5th place. Now on lap number 9 of the scheduled 50 in this final stage. The 1 car still in second. Q-Dog staying off that low line, almost as if to drag the 1 and the line with him, breaking the draft in the corner, Pete. If that's indeed what's going on, that's one of the smartest moves I've ever seen. Watch the line in turn number 3. See if Q-Dogs attempts to snake through the corner, breaking the draft.
Right now, kind of keeping it a lane a car to a car and a half length, or width rather, off that bottom. Now, Rick, one thing that we really didn't talk about is the corners here at Daytona. Unlike Talladega, the corners here are very, very rough, as it looks like the 9 might have actually hit that yellow line and popped them up track. That is going to allow at least the 1 of Cole 315 to get to the front in that 1 Oreo Camaro. So now, reminiscent of an old Earnhardt scheme up front. He had a hungry pack right behind him. Right now, 13 of Commando Griff, 47 of Bill's Legend sitting in 3rd and 4th. That 9 of Q-Dog, who was leading, finds himself right now in P2.
Q-Dog in second place, but that's not a bad place to be. 41 laps to go in this stage, and these drivers now nose-to-tail single file enjoying that bottom line. Pete, it almost looks like the top two have found a way to be smooth out of the corner and keep drafting with such a gap that allows them to almost break away. The 13 of Commando Griff getting a great shove up the inside line, but the outside does not go away. King Mathers in the 15 being pushed by the 10 of Cola and the 16 of Budrow.
Yeah, 16 of Budrow not really. There goes King Mathers way down low. Gonna have to see if the 9 of Q-Dog cuts him a break and lets him back up on track. And it looks like King Mathers actually checked up just enough before he got to the corner and be able to get back on track. And they did that, very smart. They timed it just perfect to where he didn't come back up on in the corner and possibly wash up track and collect the field. And because he didn't advance the position down below that double yellow line, no harm, no foul. Good job by that 15.
15 now on the outside line, trying to make it work down the backstretch. He's got a draft from the 98 of Master Killer, who now sits in fourth place, has not broken into the top three today. Mr. Cola leading in the number 10 Chevrolet on the outside with Budrow in the 16 pushing him. Unforgotten Shadow drafting in, that's Blitz in the 18 in third. Mathers is in fourth. Now about to complete lap 12 and get onto lucky lap 13. The outside line now takes control and the top 5 break away.
Yeah, working my way back up there right now. 16 of Budrow. See the one car actually. I'll have to check the fuel here. That seemed kind of early, but it looked like the one of Cole 315 was just coming back up track, where it was a scheme kind of similar to it. Not quite sure who that was, if it wasn't Cole. But no, actually looking back about P5, P6, there is that one Oreo Camaro still riding along right now with the 15 of King Mathers. Sitting right there in P3. There goes the 9 of Q-Dog, and the 16 came down to pick him up.
Budrow now on the inside of that outside line that has a move. Blitz trying to get close to the 16 and gain a side draft, but nothing doing. Now 14 laps underway at Daytona. Pete, that blue car, I believe, is the 36 of Demon coming out of pit road, perhaps gambling on a caution, trying to get a pit stop in early. Now the 9 of Q-Dogs enters the podium positions once again, trying to draft up the inside line, but look at the 18 of Blitz drafting his way off of turn number 2, trying to get an advantage into 3. The 10 of Cola now being pursued by the 16 of Budrow, and welcome back King Mathers into the podium positions.
Yeah, not bad. Just 2 or 3 laps ago or so, it seems, the 15 of King Mathers was in real trouble. Got sent down below the yellow line, able to work his way back up on track just before the corner. No issue right there. And here he is now able to rally back up to P2, right off the back bumper of that 16 of Budrow. Behind King Mathers, got the 98 of Master Killer, and then the 20 of Jaden Gimbel.
Out of that second corner, Cola still leads as they come up to a lapped car that looks like the 5 of Little Tank, the 47, now no longer in that top 3. 16 of Budrow, 15 of King Mathers, second and third respectively. Your first Ford is Master Killer in the 98 on the outside. The lone Supra on the inside is the 18 of Blitz, and he will sink like a stone with no help behind. The 5 of Little Tank is the lapped car. The leaders will soon overtake. 15 laps now complete.
Rick, I tell you what, it's going to be kind of interesting if the leaders had caught him in the wrong position, if they were side by side going through, but that's not the way that it turned out. We'll see if the 5 is actually able to dive on down and pick up that lead pack of 4, or if it's going to be the second pack of 4 or 5 that the 5 meshes in with. But that actually went ahead and put the 5 Little Tank 1 lap down. We'll have to see if there was some kind of issue with him, or if he decided to pit a little early. We're 15 laps into this 50-lap run, coming to complete lap 15, starting lap 16, 35 to go.
34 4 as they cross the line. Mr. Cola leads the 15 of King Mathers in second. Master Killer now inside of the top 3 for the first time today. Gimbal fourth. Little Tank not fifth in car number 5, just a lap down and in the lucky dog position. Q-Dog now in the 5th position. Look at him slingshot up the inside, trying to make that line work with no help. But Q-Dog doesn't have the momentum as Mr. Cola just gets a big push from Mathers onto the outside. 2-car Chevrolet tandem leading into 3.
Yeah, that 30, I think you're right. I think it was that 36. He was just seen all the way down on the apron cutting the grass. So he's either having a real big issue, not sure if he's got a wheel and it just kept on disconnecting on him, or I don't know what was going on with him. But he's way out of the way, way off the racing surface. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. But right now, look at this 13 of Commando Grip with the 47 of Bill's Legend all over that bumper. Got the 9 car of Q-Dog to his outside, and they were pushing and shoving all the way through. Caught back up to, just about 2 car lengths off that lead pack. Now they'll have to go on up high and assimilate up there and see what they can do with the draft. It seems like the 13 and 47 got some pretty good get up and go gears, and yeah, they're gonna try to work their way back up to just about the lead. But Rick, unfortunately, if they do get that lead, they've got to back off.
Boudreaux now upheld and impeded out of that second corner. Cola still leads. Mathers in second place, giving him a shove on the high side. Gimbal third, Master Killer fourth, and after the 5 of Little Tank scraping the wall out of turn number 2, he holds up the 16 of Boudreaux, who now is struggling to hang on to the leaders. Now on the inside of the 13 of Commando Griff, trying to push their way to the front. 20 laps now underway. 31 to go, and we have a 4-car breakaway at the front of this race.
Yeah, just about. It'll be interesting now because they're up high. All right, per the rules, they can push and shove all they want. As actually now it becomes a 2-car tandem rather than a 3 or 4-car breakaway because the 3rd car hit the wall. I don't know if there was a 4th car back there, kind of on the 15 of King Mathers. He's kind of straddling that middle line, so he's not down low. He's not exactly up high, but they are certainly off that bottom line, which means the car behind him can push all he wants. They just cannot lock bumpers on the bottom line. So the 20 of Jay Gimbal, he can do whatever he wants with the back bumper of that 15 car.
Pete, I am not entirely sure what you're seeing, my friend, but the 10 car of Mr. Cola, at least on my stream, is directly in front of the 15 of King Mathers, and it doesn't look like you have him on your picture, my friend. 10 car being scored as the leader, according to Combat Beast.
Yep, I've got Cola sitting in the pits. Go figure. Why not? That's all right. We'll roll with it. It's just another one of those things, you know.
Let me get you an invite, my friend. The number 10 of Cola still leads, now completing lap 20, and it now becomes a 2-car tandem, Pete. And what was a 3-car club at the front of this race now becomes a lone pair that struggles to stay ahead of the oncoming pack. That looks like the number 13 of Commando Griff that's now sitting in 3rd, leading the charge to the top 2. 47 of Bill's Legend is in 4th. Q-Dog rounding out the top 5.
All right, Rick, I got that invite. I'm going to go ahead and restart this right now. Sitting at 22 out of 50 laps, getting back into the Coke Daytona 250. These Xfinity drivers have done a phenomenal job. If it wasn't for the server, we would be done by now. We'd be talking to, or done, I think, talking to our top 3. But I've enjoyed the action. If it's a little prolonged, hey, so be it. But let's. I'm back on track and ready to pick it up with you.
Coming out of turn number 2, single file, 4 cars, 13 leads, 47 in second place, 9 in third, gap to the 1. Down the back, still single file, 47 behind the 13, giving him a shove. Now we have our picture once again, and into the third corner, single file, no one's on the outside.
Now, nobody the outside of the 9. Everybody's staying right behind him. The 1, the 98 of Master Killer, and additional drivers. Now, Rick, with these guys lined up the way they are, it's saying, I'm trying to pick up, yeah. All right, so the 47 of Bill's Legend, is he showing as the leader on your screen right now?
No, sir. Right now, the leader looks to be the 13 of Commando Griff. He's sitting directly ahead of the 47. Do you need another invite, pal?
Nope, I got it. I just want to make sure I
Beautiful.
wasn't quite sure where I was, but thank you very much. So the 13's coming up on a couple cars that they're trying to put a lap down. 13's the draft from the 99, or I think that's the 99 anyway, but will he be able to get back down in time? No, he wasn't. So he's actually going to lose the lead and pick up a couple of guys that were running up top. And Rick, it looks like we got our first round of green flag pit stop.
First round of pit stops, indeed. The number 99 of Q-Dogs now coming down. The 13 of Commando Griff getting stuck behind lapped traffic, but he makes the best of it and continues to soldier on. 26 laps to go at Daytona. This could be the one and only pit stop that these drivers will need, Pete. They need to be alert. They need to not violate the pit road speeding rules, and they'll be there at the end.
Well, Rick, we haven't really talked about the 8 Hellman's Camaro very much, but right now it's actually showing that he is in the lead going into 3 and 4. He's got a little bit of help with 44, 13 to Commando Griff, and one other right behind him. They did signal on the backstretch, trying to whoa this Camaro up. Might be sliding on a man. He left all kinds of mayo behind that thing. Holy cow, I don't know if he made it in or not. Let's see. Estimated fuel after pit. Now, it doesn't tell me what kind of time he's going to be spending on pit road. But if that 8 got woed up, it was by the hair on his chinny chin. I tell you.
Pete, looking at the telemetry on Combat Beast's stream, these drivers will have 21 laps of high-octane Sunoco fuel to take them to the end, which won't be enough. It's 26 laps to go, so these drivers will fall just under 5 laps short. The 13 of Commando Griff now pulling off the track, yielding the lead to the 20 of Jay Gimbel.
Yes. All right, so working my way back around to that 20 right now. Let's see, I think he's got... Trying to find him. I tell you. All right. Nope, there we are. All right, so 20 of Jay Gimbel. He's got the 98 of Matt Killer right in front of him, as well as the 1 of Cole 315 coming up on that 8 car that just came out of the pits. So the 8's going to fall from the lead as it cycles back around. And not only is he going to fall from the lead, he's going to fall from the draft as well. So now the Combat Beast is going to have some work to do. He's got to hope that somebody comes up behind him and helps him catch back up to the leaders again. Vols, thank you very much for those bits, buddy. Good to see you out there in chat, sir.
Jay Gimbel still being scored as the leader behind the number 1 of Cole, and that's the number 9 of Q-Dogs up ahead, trying to stay on the lead lap. Now, the 20 car is the leader, but he can push the lap down cars ahead of him. Well, actually, I'm talking out of the side of my neck, Pete. I have no idea what the rules are in this situation, but the 20 of Gimbel did give a bit of a shove to the 1 of Cole. Q-Dogs is the car up ahead, but the telemetry still says that 20 Dex Imaging Supra is in first.
Yep, I'm seeing the same exact thing. Good to be on the same page with you. After that restart, I didn't know that the 10 was on track that entire time. But yeah, the 20 of Jay Gimbel, he's got the lead. 98 of Master Killer right there with him, which, as you said, makes me believe that the 9 of Q-Dog and the 1 of Cole 315, maybe they haven't. They would have had to pit. So I'm guessing something happened. Either they got a black flag or what, I don't know. But the 20, the 98, and one other just behind him, the 13 of Commando Griff. I don't know right now if that's first through third. But, Rick, we're halfway, or just a little past halfway in this final stage.
Just past halfway, the 20 of Jay Gimbel dipping all 4 tires below the yellow line, the universal signal for, hey, I'm pitting. Now getting squirrely out of the 4th corner. No one else went below the yellow line, so Jay Gimbel now comes down pit road with no drafting partners, as he did once before the server crash. So Jay is going to be out of sorts, and he's going to lose a lot of time on his outlap, and hopefully not enough time that it's the race for him. However, Pete, there's 23 laps remaining as Jay Gimbel is coming down pit road. He'll have 21 laps of racing fuel in that car. Is it possible to save 2 laps of fuel at Daytona?
In the draft, I would have to give you a big old Chuck Norris thumbs up. You can call me Peter if you want to, but shades of dodgeball, I tell you. I would have to say yes if he's able to get to the back end of one of these 3 or 4 car drafts. If he can't, then I'd have to say no, because he's got to keep up speed. Because the cars, like for example, the 8 car Combat Beast, I'm on him right now. He's giving a big old push to the 15. 15 right behind the 10, and it's kind of strange. Even with that pit that we just saw Jay Gimbel make, it's showing that he came right back out into the lead, unless what I'm seeing is wrong right there, as they split him right down the middle.
Shades of Fast and Furious as they split Jay Gimbel down the backstretch. Not sure what the 20 was doing that high, moving at such a slow speed. Pete, I believe the lead has been regained by the 10 of Mr. Cola, who now finds himself ahead of the 15 of King Mathers. This time across the line, 20 laps to go.
Yeah, Balls, absolutely. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a dodge. There's no dodges out here anymore. But yeah, you can absolutely, good movie. But whoever it's got to be. I mean, right now the 14 of Combat Beast that we've been keeping up with right now, or all race rather, he's sitting in 14th. After everything had to be restarted after that server bump, there's only 17 cars out here on track. So the leader, I've got to say, Rick, I think it's, as you said, been relegated back to that 10 car, and a few of these other cars are all that are mingled, are lapped down and on the on the leading lap, all kind of mixed in.
19 laps to go, 10, 15, 9, your top 3, all Chevrolets. Master Killer in the Mustang sits in 4th. Combat Beast 5th in line is in 14th. The number 1 blue Dale Jr. Oreo Chevrolet sits in 5th, with the 20 of Jay Gimbel behind him, who is now in 6th place after regaining the draft, Pete. So it's not all doom and gloom for the driver of the Dex Imaging Supra, and that is the sleeper. There is the trump card, if you will. That 20 car could have enough fuel to make it to the end. Now on lap 33 of 50, Pete, it's a race to the bottom of the tank.
Now, Rick, do you think by chance, the 10 car would kind of look and see what's going on around and paying attention to those that have signaled that they're coming down pit road? I mean, it really just seemed like he absolutely gave up the lead. He pulled down low, allowed a couple cars to go on by. Do you think he just realized the situation or the predicament that he was in? He allowed the 15 of King Mathers, 9 of Q-Dog to go on by. There's the 98 of Master Killer as well, with that one Oreo Camaro sitting in P4. The bright yellow car, tail end Charlie right there. Again, that is the 8 car of Combat Beast. He is the first car 1 lap down, as King Mathers actually up high and into the wall. Something must have happened with him. That's going to allow the 9 and others to get on by.
Pete, nobody wants this lead. They've just figured it out. It's been a revelation across the field. They're trying to save fuel to make it to the end, and now it's a reverse goose run, where instead of the car at the back drafting to the front, the car at the front will now draft to the back. And each of these geese no longer flying in V formation. They want to be single file, and no one wants the lead. Cola on the outside trying to sink to the back to have the most draft possible, to save the most fuel possible. It's going to be 17 laps remaining, and with each of these cars, except for the 20, at least 5 laps short. The object is now to save more than 5 laps of gas in the next 16 circuits. Pete, I don't see the math. I don't see the logic. Jay Gimbel in the 20 is the only driver capable of achieving such a feat. The 15 of Mathers just crashed. I believe the yellow might be out. No, it's not.
Nope, not yet. Riding along right now with that 9 of Q-Dog. And he's still hard on the throttle. If the caution is going to come out, it'll come out right when he gets to the start stripe. So we'll listen here, see if there's any change in the pitch in the motor. And nope, he is still full bore, so he's still flat on it. Coming up on a couple of slower cars. One car coming out of the pits, one car running that high line. Looks like the car down low was that 10. So I think he just got into his pit window and said, you know what, this race kind of feels like it's going to go green. I'm going to pit now. And that he just made his bet.
15 laps to go next time by, and my apologies for calling a caution prematurely once again. The 15 and the 10 are on the same strategy. If you listen to the engine pitch down the backstretch for car 15, he is on a limited throttle. The engine note very, very low, relatively speaking, but he's still in the draft. The 15 of Mathers, now with 15 laps remaining, is on an economy run. Every one of these leaders are on an economy run. Pete, the 15 of Mathers, caught up to the 10, and it is a race to the bottom of the tank. Pete, they are driving at a pedestrian rate trying to save fuel.
Did you just see, Rick, that 20 of Jay Gimbel come flying on by the 9 in company on the high side? He had one car with him that he was shoving along the entire way. I'm going to try to catch back up with him right now. But yeah, he's got the 44 right in his sights, and the 98, I believe, a Master Killer right behind him. So if Master Killer has saved enough gas sitting back in the pack a little bit, he might have saved enough. Now running right behind that 44, still in a draft. Because the 44 I don't believe is in the lead, he should be able to push him along. No, when I look at Combat Beast's feed, it's still showing right now that the 20 of Jay Gimbel is back in the lead.
Master Killer now being scored as the leader. Cars coming together. They're almost wrecking out of turn number 2. A couple scraping across the wall trying to dodge each other down the backstretch. Everyone's still pointing in the right direction. One car's gone around. Another one's been collected down the back. It looked like the 5 of Little Tank was involved. The 98 of Master Killer still your leader. It's the 18 of Blitz still pointing in the opposite direction. Will they call it at the line? This could be the end of Jay Gimbel's insurmountable lead. The 98 of Master Killer behind the 44 of Baritone Boss to the line to complete lap 38. Caution is out, Pete. Caution is out. They're slowing down at the line. What a turn of events.
Man, the 20 did not want to see that. He also did not want to see that side-by-side duel with the 1 of Cole 315. It seemed like they absolutely traded just a little bit of paint. Not quite sure what Cole was upset about, except for maybe that 20 was keeping him pinched on that yellow line. But 20, if that was a challenge for first, 20 didn't want to give it up, and Cole wanted to take it. We'll have to see if the admins go back and review that, see if the 1 was below that double yellow. They'll have to make that determination. But this is going to be our one, and I don't know if it's going to be the only caution, but it's without a doubt about to get very dicey here.
Pete, the 20 of Jay Gimbel played the fuel strategy absolutely perfect. He came in and he slowed down just enough to ensure he had the fuel to make it. Why else would he be able to be moving at full pace when you can literally hear the 15 and the 10 on what sounds like a sour engine note, but they're just letting it roll through the corner and through the backstretch. VolsFan88 in the chat saying that looked like it was on purpose, so controversy abounds not only with the fuel saving, but the aggression. So now the hole has been blown, and there's the 20 not
I
pitting,
had a feeling.
not pitting, staying out, and there's the move. There is his line in the sand. He says, I will not pit, I will lead this race to the end, and it is now his race to lose. We're going to have, I believe, Pete, 10 to go when we take the green.
Yeah, 10 to go. Everybody down there, this is a free chance to grab 4, grab 2, just grab fuel, whatever you need. But Jay Gimbel, he only had, 3, maybe 4 laps on his tires. I don't know what he took when he went down pit road, but either way, here he is at the front. I was waiting and waiting. I stayed on him as all the cars were starting to go down pit road to see what he was going to do. And once he took that sharp right to get back out on track, you pointed it out, and I had a feeling he was going to do that.
Once crossed my mind, Pete, but strategy abounds with Jay Gimbel, not only before the caution, but he still has a trick or two up his sleeve.
He's got it. And I don't know if J-Pod just told him to kind of slow it down or stop on the backstretch, but he just about brought it to a standstill, where it wasn't just him saving a little bit of fuel for a second. I don't know. So we'll have to see, Rick, if they go back to green this time. I think that was just the 5 of Little Tank that went zipping on by. If they go back green, we'll stay right here. If they don't, we'll take a quick commercial break, and then we'd be right back. But it looks like they're getting ready to go. 20 and the 78 are going to be side by side. Your leader is the of Jay Gimbel. Stayed out right there as everybody else came down and topped off or changed to or did whatever they had to do. 20's ready to go.
He's ready to go with the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow. We've got these 2 Supras double lined up on a Wednesday, about to flip the switch. I believe this is 9 to go at the line, Pete, to settle it at Daytona. Gimbel Lee, no, they're not even going to green. Never mind. Getting excited over nothing, man, but this is going to be a great finish.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. You want to know how to follow NNR if you don't already? Check this out, and we'll be right back on the other side. Give us about, 30 seconds.
Hey NNR fans, don't miss any of the action by following or subscribing to Repeat's Twitch channel. Turn on notifications and you'll always know when the best preset league on Xbox hits the track. Check out his YouTube channel too to see all of NNR's past races. Follow No Name Racing as well as Repeat 1975 and others on Twitter, and you'll never miss any of the action.
All right, we're back. Hopefully you're still there. Definitely want to thank everybody that's come out to hang out, chat it up, keep us all company, keep each other company. I know a lot of people out there are waiting for the American Ethanol Cup race. I believe they're actually live from Indy tonight, or maybe the Indy Road Course. Not quite sure, but I know Vols is out there and a couple others. They're getting ready to go, getting ready to call that race. As soon as this is done, I believe I saw the notification come up that Vols was broadcasting. So when this is done, you guys can just stay right here, and I'll transfer you over to that party. Give Vols a little bit of a raid. I'm sure he'd love to see 25 or 20 to 25 people come across in a big old hurry, getting ready to green flag wave there. Man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I actually might tune in for a little bit myself. I haven't seen an actual legit race at that road course yet. But Rick, we got to settle this at Daytona first. 20 wants it, and you ready to call him?
Let's do it, buddy. 2 Toyotas at the front, locking out the front row. 2 Chevrolets locking out row number 2. The 99 starting in 5th. Back to green. Jay Gimbel in the front of this one. Unforgotten Shadow in 2nd. Bill's Legend pushing on the outside in 3rd. No help for the inside line.
No help whatsoever. I tell you, the Jay Gimbel had the one car of Cole 315 right behind him, but not able to stay there. I don't know if Gimbel pulled ahead. He's got those get up and go gears, or what that was. There was a little bit of an issue between the 1 and the 20 just before that caution came out. Did that carry over to the restart? We'll have to see, but it looks like there's a whole lot of ducking and diving going on as the 47 of Bill's Legend pulls to the outside. Got a little bit of help from the 9 of Cole and one of Cole 315. I'm sorry, 9 of Q-Dog. The 1 of Cole 315 gave the 9 a little bit of a nudge up towards that outside wall by accident. So now 78, 20, 47, top 3 going into 1 and 2 one more time.
Crash at the back between the 8 of Combat Beast and the 5 of Little Tank. Cars going around. The 78 of Unforgotten Shadow with no help. The 20 of Jay Gimbel trying to get around the outside with also no help. But he's got the momentum and the speed, and he will clear the 78 by himself. What a move for the 20 of Jay Gimbel. But no, they're backing down, Pete. They are backing down. Caution's out.
Yep, I'm guessing because there's so few laps left, they figure not burn a lap and race it out to the line. Have them slow down here, maybe open the pits right here, and do whatever they need to do. And actually, Vols just corrected me, and I forgot I did get a message from Worm Rider. Worm is actually going to be broadcasting the American Ethanol race tonight from the Indy Road Course, not Vols. So after this race, please stay tuned for Worm Rider, or while you see him out there in chat, go ahead and give him a big old tap, follow him, and do whatever you need to do. Make sure you see when that race starts. Alpha, if you're still out there, we've got less than 7 to go with pits open. We're going to cycle them around one more time, let these guys get double file back up, call this race green, call the completion, and we'll have a quick interview with our top 3. And if they're part of American Ethanol, we'll get them on their way as quickly as possible. We're coming up on, little after 11. So, Rick, we haven't lost too much time with that server bump.
No, not too much time, Pete. Unfortunate that it happened nonetheless, but luckily we get the opportunity to finish this one as is. Hopefully those servers get fixed sooner rather than later. The 78 of Unforgotten Shadow is your leader. The 47 of Bill's Legend in second. Jay Gimbel in third, your highest ranked Toyota. Cole 315 sitting in fourth. You've got that number 99 Toyota Supra being driven by Zachary Jason in the fifth place. Boudreaux is in sixth in that number 16 Camaro. That looks to be the 13 of Commando Griff. That is in seventh. Blitz in eighth, Pete, and then the field goes on from there. I can't see who's in the back, but they're lining up for this restart. It's going to be less than 5 to go.
Yeah, the guy all the way in the back, tail end Charlie right now, is at Hellman's Camaro for Combat Beast. So, excuse me, he's got a faster car than what he's shown. When he's been able to get up to the front, he's been able to be there and run with the leaders. But he's just had bad luck. And sometimes in a race, that's all it takes to kind of take you out of it completely. Good thing this is just Heat 5. Any damage that is, for the most part, has been able to be repaired. Single file still up on that high line. I don't know if this is an audible call by JPA saying that we're going to have a modified restart, or if we're going to take one more lap around. I would imagine that we're going to go single file right from the start stripe and try to finish out this race under green.
That seems what we're going to do, Pete, just in the interest of getting this race done. So the number 78 of Unforgotten Shadow stacking up the field. The 47 of Bill's Legend behind him. Jay Gimbel in the 20 Toyota Chevrolet. Toyota, green flag in the air. We're racing again at Daytona. 5 laps to go.
Yes, 78 of Unforgotten Shadow, 47 of Bill's Legend. He's had a fast car all night long. Behind him, I think that's going to be the 98 of Master Killer. Not 100% sure. Nope, it's going to be the 20 of Jay Gimbel. 47 hits that apron just a little bit, slows him up. That allows the 20 and the 1 to close up ever more. Right now, they are side by side for the first 4.
4 laps to go next time across the line. The 78 of Unforgotten Shadow leads this race. The 47 of Bill Legend gives him a push into 3, but he cannot push him through the low line of the corner. 78, 47 won your top 3. Jay Gimbel hung out to dry. Little bit of lag spike from the 13. 4 to go this time by.
4 laps remaining, and they are more than 4 cars deep, all mostly on that bottom line. 47 trying very, very hard to obey the rules and not push the car in the lead. Unforgotten Shadow wants to keep it right there, but can he? Rick, we've seen anytime some cars have been able to form up on that outside line, they have been able to get up and get gone. 47 has done it quite a few times, and right now he's got that one car, a Cole 315, his very, very good J-Pop Militia buddy, sitting right back there, right along the 99 of Zachary Jason. 16 is the first car to try to the outside.
47 preparing that move. It's going to be 3 laps to go this time by. 78 leading the 47 Camaro in second. The Oreo Camaro sits in third. 99 fourth. Jay Gimbel sitting in fifth. But anybody can make this move. There goes the 92 Muscleman's Camaro to the outside, trying anything. Everyone's looking for some sort of pass. 3 to go.
Yeah, 3 laps remaining, no change up front, still 78, 47, 199, 20, and now the 18 of Blitz. He's starting to show that Monster Camaro can also get up there and get into the mix as well. Rick, after that last caution, everybody's good on gas. So what you're seeing right there below that yellow line is just blocking. They can't push on the bottom, but they sure as hell can try to pass if you don't protect that yellow line. 47 now trying to get to the outside. One to Cole 315. He's going to go with him. 99 is Zachary Jason. He's going to stay low. Here comes the 20 of Jay Gimbel. They're side by side at the line, 2-3 rows deep.
5 miles left at Daytona. The 47 of Bill's Legend getting a shove from the 1 on the top line, which is legal, but the 78 cannot receive assistance on the inside line. The 1 can't push the 47, and there's no momentum as the outside line breaks up, but now they link up, and here comes the push down the back. Will they have the momentum? 78 tries to block the 47, but he's far too late. Bill's Legend leading into turn 3.
Bill's Legend up high, 1 to Cole 315, right behind him, 78 down low, 99 and 1 make just a little bit of contact. That is going to break up any help that the 47 of Bill's Legend has. So now the 78, even though he cannot be pushed, he's got some help. Just as I say that, the 47 picks up some additional help from guys that were just a little bit further. Still, side by side now, 3 rows deep. 78 to the lead, 99 is Zachary Jason right there. Here comes the 18 of Blitz.
47 gets put in the wall, 20's in the wall as well. 9 of Q-Dogs has been tagged, cars scattering everywhere. This could be the race to the yellow, or it could be the race to the checkered flag. The 78 of Unforgotten Shadow leads, every car still pointing in the right direction. The 99 has a chance, Pete.
99 absolutely has a chance. 99 is in the same position the 98 of Papa Bear was in last night on that very last lap. He was able to pull up and pass with just a little bit of help from the 02 of Yotes King. Can the 99 receive the same kind of help from the 18 of Blitz that the 98 got last night? Rick, final lap, white flag. It is a race to the checkers. Can the 99, 18, or 13 get past this 78 to capture their win?
They're setting up the slingshot into turn number 3. Here goes the 99 of Jason. He can't decide where to go. He gets hooked with the 18 of Blitz. They hesitate, Pete. They hesitate into 3, and they get one more shot out of 4.
They might get one more shot, but I think the 18 of Blitz is just too far back. He can't quite get to the 99's bumper. We'll have to see if he's got enough. 99's going to try to take it to the outside. Nothing doing. 18 of Blitz going to try to get underneath it. 78 of Unforgotten Shadow's going to go ahead and take that. Zachary Jason's going to come in P2 as his welcome back race to NNR. 18 of Blitz and the 1 car of Cole 315. He's going to come in P4. Commando Grip in P5. Dizzy Boy in P6. Q-Dog relegated back to 7th. Right along with Master Killer, Budrow, and Baritone Boss to round out your top 10. And Vols fan, you ever throw me 1,000 bits again, I'm going to bounce you right out of this chat, buddy. Thank you very much, sir.
Always generous, Terry Radford with those 1,000 bits. What can you say about the guy? Hello from the United States, Terry. We miss you. Tell Korea we say hi. The 78 of Unforgotten Shadow
Oh,
leading
man.
this one. He's got that 99 in second place. Right behind him, almost had it, Pete. He had the move on the backstretch, but it looks like he just hesitated right before. The 78 had a great block, though. Credit to him.
Absolutely, and not only did he block, it almost looked like he didn't. He just ran that center line. The 99 was he couldn't quite get to the outside, and he couldn't quite pull back down either because the 78 was just flat in the middle lane and nowhere to go. Vols, buddy, thank you very much. I absolutely appreciate you. Rock NASCAR, thanks for hanging out. Worm Rider, we're gonna see you just in just a little bit. For now, though, we're gonna work our way back to post race. Let these guys finish up their cool down lap, and we will be right back, guys.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks for keeping it right here. Definitely appreciate almost 30 of you now, kind of hanging out with us. We're gonna pick it up first with that 18 Monster Camaro of Blitzkrieg or Blitz nowadays, IRL or IVL Blitz. Blitz, I tell you what, you kind of came out of nowhere. You weren't quite up, towards the front all race long, but buddy, you got it done at when you really needed to be. Congratulations on this P3. Walk us through those final laps with all those moving parts, and do you think you might have been able to work with that 99 to maybe bring yourself up to P2, or maybe even if something happened, steal first?
Well, yeah, see, I am actually very happy with third, and I did not expect that. I'm not good with setups and all that, so honestly, I just went to YouTube and found the best one I could. And my car was not that fast, so I kind of had to stay behind somebody. So I knew right away I was not going to be able to win because I could not be the lead car. So basically, I just kind of stuck up behind him and sat there. I didn't really try to make a move because, well, I also had damage on the final restart. So I couldn't really make a move, so I kind of just got the best finish I could take, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Man, I would be too. As Rick would say, great podium finish for you on that third rung. Any quick shots for you, sir?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Any quick shout outs for you?
Well, IRL, that's for Impact Racing League, by the way. But, yeah, nothing really.
All right. Well, Rick James, you want to take the guy that just got welcomed back to NNR with a P2 finish, Mystery Zachary Jason.
Zach, great run tonight. We saw you on the backstretch on the last lap. It looks like you made a bold move to the outside, but the 78 threw a great block. There was times throughout this race where you didn't even find yourself in the top 10. How did you crawl back to get the silver medal?
I was just trying to be patient with everything, trying to work with everybody, try to get everybody on my side, try to get the help that I needed. Just didn't have enough for the 78, so I give a shout out to him for throwing the block. And in the end, he just edged me out.
Now, with that finish at the end there, it was a good time there watching you make the move to the outside, but coming out of 4, you had one more chance. What strategy were you going to employ there? Was it going to be another move to the outside?
Yep, it was going to definitely be the move to the outside. I tried getting as close to his back bumper as I could to make the slide or the slingshot, and I just didn't have enough of a run. I didn't have enough of a help behind me to get that run, and I appreciate the 18 for kind of helping me throughout the last 2 or 3 laps.
Absolutely, man. Any shout-outs for tonight?
I want to give a shout out for NNR for giving me this opportunity to come back and prove what I got.
Good to have you back, man.
Yep, most definitely.
Great to have.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Didn't mean to cut you off there, pal. Sorry about that, but it's great to have you back. Congratulations on second place.
Thank you.
Back to you, Pete.
I knew it. Forgotten Shadow, I know you got your ears on. Buddy, congratulations on this P1 finish. Daytona International Speedway, everybody wants to win here. You got it done. You held off a couple of pretty fast cars in those late stages, or those late laps, rather. Walk us through them, please.
Well, start that last caution that came out. If that caution would not have came out, the 20 and the 47, they just would have passed me clean as day. Excuse me. I'm still trying to get these knots out of my stomach because those last 8 laps were they seemed like they were eternity. But no, I'm glad that for me, I'm glad that caution came out because it gave me the P1 spot back. But I literally, they always say on TV, the lead is always literally mirror driving. That's all I was doing. I was waiting for that run to come, and I was riding that middle lane on the back stretch just in case, if I saw just a glimpse of them going in either direction, I would try to put the block on them, but I wasn't going to put them in the wall. The last couple laps, being up front, put that block, put somebody in a wall, it goes from one car to the whole field, and I'm not that kind of driver. If I get past, I get past. Eventually my win would come, but luckily for me tonight, it actually came. And oh man, those last 8 laps, I had to really. See, I'm just lost for words right now. I'm just gonna stop.
I know, buddy, you're absolutely fine. Trust me, we've all been tongue-tied at one time or another after something good happens, and I'm glad that it happened to you. For anybody that don't know, one of the die casts in my collection was actually donated by Unforgotten Shadow. It's the old Martinsville throwbacks game from Dale Jr. with the old Mountain Dew logo on the side of the car. I love it. I actually put it up right next to my National Guard and my my Exalted Camaro and the Amp car that I've got. So Unforgotten Shadow, you were absolutely one of my favorite drivers here in NNR. Even if it wasn't for that, you always do something out there on the track that gives me and anybody else, Rick James or anybody else that's here with me, something to chat about. Congratulations on this P1. I won't ask you to talk much. Just how about a shout out, buddy?
Oh, well, I definitely want to give out shout out to Mathers, Boudreaux, Dizzy, and Combat. We're not really. We kind of had like somewhat of a little alliance, but if all of us went together, there was at least a couple of us together, and we always helped each other out no matter where we were. But definitely get J. Paul for letting me join in. Honcho for actually getting me started. To learn about NNR and everything, and of course, you two up there in the booth, Rick and Pete, y'all are awesome. Always enjoy it. Definitely can't wait to come back and watch it tomorrow. Alpha, everybody in American Ethanol, everybody. It's just awesome.
Well, you got Rock NASCAR out there, the consummate gentleman saying congrats, Shadow. Lions Pride Gaming saying congrats, Shadow. Glad to see you in victory lane in here as well. Rock actually saying Shadow got that Rock NASCAR chassis. That'd be kind of cool. And then, of course, the one and only Stout Whiskey saying good stuff, Shadow. Welcome to the W Club. So,
Yeah,
man,
appreciate it.
good job tonight. Rick James, any final thoughts from you, buddy?
I can't wait for tomorrow.
Me neither. It'll be interesting. Earlier, Knights was out there in chat saying that he hopes to God that the Cup Series picks up what J-Pop kind of formed for the Xfinity race and works it into the Cup race for tomorrow. We had 20 cars out there on track tonight. I'm almost positive we're going to have close to 30 tomorrow night. If we run this same package, high draft with 30 cars, look out Daytona. Look out everybody that tunes in. It's going to be one hell of a time. We're going to be without a voice when it's all done.
It's just the nature of this thrilling series, of this thrilling NNR that puts on just fantastic races, high draft, custom setups, and double penalty points at Daytona next week. The Roval, and then Pete, it just gets better and better from there. This has been an amazing experience in these couple of short weeks, and I can't wait to keep going.
Man, I can't either. Buddy, thank you very much for one more great week of, so far, Xfinity. I'm looking forward to you and Word Burton in the booth tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern. It's going to be one hell of a time. But, guys, as for now, definitely appreciate it. One more time, I'm going to put Rick James's channel information out there into chat. Make sure you go on over and slam on that follow button, and make sure you keep the notifications on. Next week, I will not be here, so I'm Rick James 36 will have the entire series all to himself with a little bit of help from, of course, the one and only Lucky Dog on Tuesday night at 9:30 from the Roval. On Wednesday night, he's going to have a surprise guest. And then on Thursday night, of course, Word Burton will be right here with him. But go on down there, smash that twitch.com/I'mRickJames36 link, and keep notifications on. The Roval is sure to be a great race. Please stand by. We're going to go ahead and share a little bit of love with. I don't see where Vols or Wormrider are streaming as of yet, so we'll actually call it quits right then and there. Guys, definitely please. One more time, stay safe, stay healthy, wear your mask, keep away from those big old packs. We want to get back to the track as soon as we possibly can. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern. Be there, or, hey, who knows?